God. Well, dude, it's the usual Tuesday podcast, and it's me and fucking Damo in here holding it down while we wait on Cisco.
Come on, bro.
My
I'm
guy,
warmed
how was
up.
your week?
Good. I just got off my little weekend, so I'm off Tuesday, Wednesday, so it was nice. Felt long. It felt good. Pause. You know,
You already know where my brain was going, dude.
how was your couple Tuesday, Wednesday? Are you off? What you off when weekends?
Yeah. So I do the Monday through Friday. What did I do over the weekend? What did I do over the weekend? Oh, dude. So Saturday, yeah. Or it was Friday. It was one of the days.
Mhm.
I took my son to the park, dude. Picked him up. He went to the park, and bro spent like 3 hours there, and then I had to run to like Thousand Oaks, which is like 20 minutes up the road.
Mhm.
But they got like a super sweet fucking mall right there, and the place I needed to go was like right beside the mall. So end up at the mall, man. And oh, this is what happened. This was funny. So we end up at the fucking mall, me and my son, right? And he's playing at
Mhm.
the little kids playground. Bro, almost had to beat up like a fucking 7-year-old.
What the fuck?
Because man, my son has really long hair, man. He has like really, really long hair, and it's
Mhm.
beautiful. And
Du-
um
Dude was pulling it.
bro, they were calling him a girl.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And my son kind of plays a little rough. You know what I mean? He plays a little rough, and so sometimes, I'll shoot him like a little look, like I'll give him like that dad eye, and then
Oh,
he'll give
like
me like,
chill.
yeah, like he'll give me the thumbs up, or like if I'm just needing like, maybe him and the boys are wrestling a little bit, and I'll check to see if he's okay, and he'll give me the thumbs up. And so
Okay, okay. He's like, yeah, we're good. Okay, I got
yeah,
it.
it's always that look. He knows it's like, are you okay? Is everything okay?
Mhm.
Because sometimes they're playing like ninjas and he'll start like yelling. So I'll look like, give him the eye. But
That's cool. That's funny.
I heard when the little boy called him a girl. And so I looked and he gave me the thumbs up and I was like, okay. But I'm using like, I'm trying to like read my book. I had a book I was reading. So I'm reading my book and dude, I was like shooting looks over my book and I could hear the little boy be like, no, you're a girl. No, you're a girl. No, you're a girl. And he's like, no, I'm a boy. Can you stop? Like, it's like, dude, no fucking way. They're like picking on my son. So,
Yeah.
so that was like a learning moment for me and him over the weekend. Cause I had him like put on his shoes. I was like, come on, man. I was like, I need to teach you. You don't let people disrespect you just so that you can play with them. You might want to play and have fun, but you don't let them talk down on you like that. You're not a girl. You're a boy, and you have
Yeah.
beautiful hair, and we love you.
That's cool. It seems like he wasn't too save. I'm coming. Alrighty, buddy.
Ooh, are you?
Oh, chill. Cat. I don't know what the topic is. Save has it. So oh, he's gonna come right now. I don't know what it is.
Oh, Cat's in the chat. My man, Cat. My
Cat's always
guy.
in the chat. He's the best. He's literally the best. I just had a stream with him on Tuesday too, so
Oh,
it
dope.
was really fun. Yeah.
What were you guys just like chatting it up, or were you guys like playing games or something?
Yeah. He likes games a lot more. So I try to do gaming streams with him
Okay.
because I'm not like too gamer. Does that make sense? So that way he could show me the ropes a little bit. That way we could have fun and we could chat about stuff. And he helps me a lot with like Discord. Dude, he's legend. He's a legend in my community.
Dude, I know Cat has always been very, very, very active like with us, and I appreciate it because you know, I always like to say like before, like when I do shows, like this just started off with me talking into a phone, and I'm just like, dude, I need to just record this, and then now like look at this, like usual Tuesdays, and so it's tight to see people kind of follow along and follow everybody's journey.
No, yeah, I agree. I think it was I think it's crazy. It was like the first I've said this before, I think. The first time that I really felt like I've garnered a little bit of a community, even if it's a little, is when I started live streaming. Like that's when I feel like it's the closest knit. Like I have people that I remember from the chat that I interact with regularly, like me and Kat. We've hung out online obviously multiple times. So it's been really, really cool.
Yeah, man. Like there's been like I mean for me crumping, like you know what I mean? Like I never really thought I would do much with it like as a solo dancer. I just wanted to get better. Like I wanted to learn and get better.
Mhm.
And there's been people who have literally followed me from like the gate, dude. Like, bro, I went to a fucking session, matter of fact, recently, and I had seen this dude's clips before, and I was like, he's really fucking good. Like, he's got like, like he's got work to do, whatever, but he's really good. And I went up to him. I was like, hey man, like, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Corpse. Like, I'm a big fan. You're really good. He's like, oh, he goes, oh, I know who you are. I was like, oh shit. I
Oh,
was like,
shit.
oh shit.
Oh
Like,
my
oh,
god.
bro, that still gets me. Like Cisco likes to gas me up, man, and I love Cisco, bro. Like, but I don't care whatever I achieve or whatever. Hearing somebody be like, "Oh yeah, man, I know who you are. Like, I've seen your stuff,
That's
bro."
just
Like, oh
weird.
yeah, bro. And it's just like, oh, they're tuning in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's not happening at the same rate like a live feed, like how you guys do have always done like live feeds and stuff like Cisco and shit, like with his gaming. Um, it's not like happening at such a high pace, but I know I can resonate with what that feels like, because people from the session and shit,
Yeah. And I know you've talked about it a little bit, but but you talked about how like you were on a big trajectory going with crumping and everything. That's really cool. I don't know
Yeah,
the scene at all, but I can imagine that like notoriety in that you were like, oh shit, okay.
bro, I gotta give it up to Dread, and Beast. They're two dudes. I mean, world renowned dancers.
Mhm.
But I got under Dread's. I got under his tutelage and under his wing, and he was hosting a weekly session, like big crump session in North Hollywood.
Mhm.
So I would show up, and once, I had to get my feet wet, kind of build the confidence to get in the session, and then it became, "Hey, Corpse, we're starting the session. Let's go." And it's like, oh, like I'm being summoned now.
Yeah.
And so, like, he kind of made sure that I danced, and and at the time it would piss me off, but it kind of forced us to get out there. You know what I mean? And the more I got out there, the more people saw us. Cisco.
Yes.
I made it, bro. My bad. My fucking bad.
No need for apologies, brother. No need for apologies.
You know how it goes with the kiddo.
Mhm. The Three Musketeers are here, though.
No
The
worries,
usual
no
Tuesdays
worries. My bad.
in
Thank you.
business.
Thank you guys for waiting. I appreciate it, man. Because fuck, I was like running around, and then I had to take a quick little dookie, and I was like, oh, it was a quick like pump and dump, you know.
Pump and dump like
It was
Dogecoin.
a pump and dump.
What
It
the
was,
fuck? Like Dogecoin.
What up? What did I miss? What y'all chatting
Oh,
about?
matter of fact, no. We were kind of talking a little bit about. He had just told me or asked me about like the trajectory I was on with dancing when I first started, because we were talking about like live feeds, and you meet people in the community and they start fucking interacting with you, and next thing
Mhm.
they're like a consistent part, like Jordan with your stream, dude. Like they become a consistent part of your stream, and it's like holy, like, and it just feels good. It feels good to have those people, like, who follow along. They're just I don't even like follow sounds so icky. It's like
That's
they're
why I don't
with
call
you.
them followers. I just call them community.
Yeah, they're with you. They're your tribe, man, on this little journey that you're going on. It's tight as fuck.
Y'all want to hear something? Peanut said. Peanut said, "Daddy, why do you always get beer? You need to drink some water."
Whoa.
Bro, that's as bad as like when you guys were trying to have an intervention with me.
Oh, you never,
Night, dude.
Damien, you never seen Peanut, huh?
I've never seen
Come
him. No, I've never
son.
seen him.
Yes.
Oh, you
Me
have
and my
him
son?
live?
Come here.
Oh, Peanut.
What's his real name?
His name's Ray. Ugh.
Ray?
Say
Dude, I
hi.
forget. Oh,
Hi.
Peanut. What's up, Peanut?
What do you want to say to all the people watching?
I actually really like the place.
You really like the what?
Play.
Oh, my name is Ray, and I came to play.
Yeah. Yeah, I also got a new bug toy today.
Oh,
Bug toy?
new
Oh,
bug
snap.
toy.
Okay.
That's
Oh
what he
my
got for
God.
being a good boy at school.
Let's go. Good job, man.
And I have two silver teeth.
Yeah.
Hey, give me a kiss. Okay, go lay down. I
Oh
love you.
my God, dude, he is little you. That is literally Sun Cisco right there,
Bro,
bro.
that's I give his mom a hard time all the time because I'm like, how does it feel to have cooked that little bugger for 9 months and came out looking exactly like me?
Just
Bro,
like you, dude. Oh
same
my God.
attitude, same everything, bro. It's wild. It's wild. And I'll show him pictures of like my brother and I when we were kids, because my brother's youngest looks like him too. So I'll like show pictures to Pina of like Rico and I when we were kids, and I'm like, oh, like who's these? Who's this? And then Pina will go, oh, that's P and Avery.
Was
It's
your
funny.
brother was the one that came up with you that time we did the photo shoot, right?
Mhm.
That was the one, bro. Y'all look a lot alike too, bro.
I don't think so. I don't think we look alike.
Y'all do. Y'all do.
Like people think we do, and like I can see similarities, but people are like, "Are you guys twins?" And I can tell you guys are brothers.
I wouldn't say twins, but you guys do have a lot of like very similar features. Where I'm like, that's your brother, bro. You're definitely related to him off
People
rip.
know. People know. I appreciate you guys waiting, and it's funny because I heard Zero say he doesn't know what the topic is tonight.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
But if you would have checked the Discord, you definitely would.
No, I I looked at the Discord.
It's definitely in there. But anyways, so based off my child being here, it's easy segue to get into it. Because my child is here in my household where I'm a single father. And we are going to talk about the importance of a 2-member household for a child.
Oh wow, it's pretty heavy.
It's a doozy. And this was actually a topic brought up by Jordan, who has 3 kids, 3 beautiful girls, and him and his beautiful wife are together, living the dream team, out in the fucking country, bumpkin folk, cornbread fed ass.
Whoa. Whoa. That's home, man. That's home, man.
But like he has the he's married, has 3 kids. They both live at home. They parent together. So, like, so the topic that was brought up was the let me read it verbatim so that way.
I did see that come through on the Discord. I did. I peek in there from every now and then.
It was the importance of a 2-parent household and the effects it has had on our communities / the nation as a whole, whether it be mom, dad, dad, mom, grandparent, etc. So not only like the mother and father of the child, but it could be like, the mom and the grandparents, but not just a single parent household.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it doesn't necessarily need to be. It's just 2 people. Seems like
correct.
Okay.
I mean, we could easily make it, mom and dad. I don't mind going there.
Sure. No, I mean it's your topic. However you set the boundaries,
Yeah, it's my topic. I definitely don't want to go first on it because I've noticed that that's the trend that we don't do. Like whoever's topic it is, they typically don't go first.
Mhm.
But let's say, just for the sake of keeping a lot of argument out of it, we won't keep it on the standard traditional home of mother and father. We'll just keep it with a non-single parent home, and like what we think the differences are, and how it affects the community, the child themselves, and the person raising that child in a single person home as compared to a home that has 2 or more people participating in the growth of the child.
Okay, so for sake of conversation, right? Can we also weigh out? Can we look at it in the pros and cons? Can we start there?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
yeah, like I said, how is it beneficial? How is it hurtful? What do you? I mean, how do you think it affects in the child in the future, therefore affecting the community and our nations, all that? You know what I mean?
So let me take the first crack at it. This sucks because I come from broken home. My children will be coming from a broken home, right? And it's there is a benefit, right? There is a benefit, but I want to start with the cons. I think at an early age, right? No matter if the kids are young, right? And they are watching, like if they're even young enough just to watch and not really understand, right? If it's happening at a young age, I feel like they start to lose the first sense of security behind the word love, right? Like even as we're older, when we hear the words I love you, there's supposed to be a sense of security granted there. And I think that as we're older, if we're coming from single parent homes, we have a much, much, much harder time understanding the security of hearing those words, or even understanding like what's supposed to be implied with it, right? Like security, comfort, this person that's going to check you when you're wrong, right? Or also hold you up when you're down, type of shit. You know what I mean? Because our parents couldn't even do that for themselves.
Mm.
So how could anybody else do this for me?
Okay, I have a rebuttal for this one. Only because I understand the experience. Like I also come from a split household, right?
Mhm.
But my parents divorced when I was like 5 or 6, something like that. Then I saw my father had another long-term girlfriend after that, and then he's on his second long-term girlfriend since my mother and him divorced. But I was able to see my mom and dad together. So I understood what the I love you meant. And then, at a later age after they divorced, I was like, oh, wait, hold on. Shit. What, you know what I mean? Kind of like what you're implying. But like in my case, Peanut's mom and I split when he was 1. So he doesn't understand. Like, this is what he knows. Daddy has his house, mommy has her house. The only time that he sees us together is like if we all go do something together, or I go to her crib, or she comes to my crib, or vice versa, right? So there was never really that, like, never really that sense of security in the words "I loved you," because all he knew was I love him, he loves me, he loves mom, mom loves him. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I'm saying. I don't think that. I think that's situational depending on like when the parents separate. I think there's like a real prevalent time.
And if they can have a good relationship post breakup.
Correct.
Because that was one thing, especially, and I think it is kind of like a circumstantial thing, because my parents never sat across the aisle from each other ever. You know what I mean? Like, especially after they split up, the only time they were like within arm's distance of each other was at my graduation dinner. And I remember telling my dad, bro, and you know how I felt and like was with my dad. I remember looking at him and being like, if you guys argue, I will never speak to you ever again. Like, I don't care what you've done for me. I don't care nothing. Like, you're my dad. I love you. She's my mom. I love you guys. Don't do it. Like, not today, dude. We're going to eat this Buffalo Wild Wings and we're going to be fucking happy. And this is what I want. You asked me what I want for graduation. This is what I want. And I did get that. I did get that from them. But, from
how old were you when your parents split though?
I was like in 3rd grade, or like late 2nd grade, 3rd grade. But even before,
your parents were split too, right?
Yeah.
oh, we're all broken household babies.
I was about to ask that too, but yeah, Cisco kind of answered that. Yes. But I was pretty young when they split, but I remember them being together for a brief period.
Yeah, see, I don't remember my mom and dad being together. Like, I remember us living in the same house, but they had like separated already. Like, and it kind of like that's how I kind of was too when Tierra and I separated. We still lived together, but I slept on the couch and she slept in the room, and it was like my dad slept in a different room for a long time. So I don't remember like my parents being together, and I think I have a total of 2 pictures of them, like all of us together.
Yeah, there's like 3 there's like maybe 3 or 4 of us as a family together, like as a like, and they were all like family photo like ops, like you know what I mean? Like they went to Kmart to go fucking do a family photo
with
together,
the
dude.
ghost. What is it? The ghost image of them like looking up.
Yeah, everybody all like you know, like stupid. There was
That
no
is sick.
authenticity like for me and my siblings, like you know, and I'm the baby, you know, so some of my older siblings would tell me stories, you know what I mean, or have told me stories. But for the most part, bro, like with my parents' relationship, all I ever remember was them fucking arguing. Like that's it.
Mm.
I knew a few things. Mom took care of us. Dad worked. When he's home, stay the fuck away from him. And
Mhm.
him and mom argue, and they yell and scream.
Mhm.
When that happens, go to the other room. Like that was the protocol. That's what I remember. And I mean, yeah, I have like good one-on-one memories with my dad, and you know, as a child, one-on-one memories with my mom. But of them together, there was just never, ever fucking peace. There was never peace, bro. It was not good. And so for me, to me, finding like a secure relationship is pivotal. Like, and it's made
Yeah.
dating, to me, I'll just say like later on in my life, it's made it hard because it's like if I begin to argue with you, like if I have to raise my voice in these things, I really pull back from this person. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter if it's a friend or a girlfriend, you know, whatever, coworkers, boss. Like if I get into this back and forth with you, this is what it's is now. I distance myself bad.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the right thing. Maybe I should try to talk it out more and control my emotions, but fuck that. No.
So let's hear your experience, D. Like what's your experience living in a broken household?
A lot of
You're
the
only
same.
child, right?
Yeah. A lot of the same. I had to. I mean, there like came a point where I was like, it's probably best that.
Wait, hold on. Do you have half siblings?
Nah. No. I have
You have
no
step-siblings?
sibling.
You have no step siblings, no
Now
half.
now I have step because my dad just got married, but
Yeah.
they're in
Oh,
England
congrats.
and the other one is in uh somewhere else. I like grew up with them for a little bit, like a couple years, and they're cool, they're great, but like we're not like super close or anything like that. But yeah, for the most part, just by myself. Had to be creative with how I entertain myself. At some point, yeah, I was just like, especially older when I reflect, I'm like, I'm glad you guys aren't together. Like it would have been way fucking worse if you guys would have stayed together for the sake of like um for the sake of like kids, for the sake of like having kids and being with the kids or whatever together. It was just like not super bad, like not, but you know, yelling, arguing, just generally not being happy around on like a day to day. So it was kind of like, yeah, like I'm glad. But when I was a kid, I wanted like them to be together. I was like, you guys should like get back together. It's like kind of sick. Um, but like looking back, yeah, I was like, nah, that shit would have been ass. But yeah, a lot of the same things, just arguing and like I didn't like it. And I think there was a lot of, it was only until recently where like I realized that my parents' relationships and watching those as I was growing up really molded the way that I looked at marriage and the way that I was because it wasn't until really recently that I even considered marriage, because I was like, it's just not gonna work. Why even do it? It's doesn't mean anything. And now that I've really thought it through and thought about it and thought like what do I think about like marriage and things like that, now I have a very different opinion, and it's based on like kind of myself instead of my parents and what they went through and what they said yes or no to and did. So
Yeah, I think that, I mean, that makes sense, right? Like we're always gonna base it off of the people that are closest to us, you know. And you know that was kind of the reason that I went about or go about how like my relationship with Peanut's mom is.
mm,
Because like my mom and dad don't have a bad relationship, but they don't have like they're not friends. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
they don't call each other on the phone or
mine too.
You know,
They're-
like,
yeah,
but you know, like if my mom and my dad are in the same place, they can talk and
they're
they,
cordial.
you know, yeah, they're very cordial with each
Me too.
other.
Yeah.
My mom, like, yeah, like my mom's never been with anybody else after. So, and I think that's a beautiful thing, because my mother is very religious, and she looked at it as, if I get married, then I'm married once and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But looking onto that, and the picture thing as I got older was like huge for me, because I love my mom, I love my dad. They both taught me awesome things in life. The picture thing kind of like fucked me up, and I would have loved to have pictures that I could look at. Like, I look at my mom and my dad's wedding book. I looked at that thing all the time, and I just didn't want that for Peanut. You know what I mean? I'm like, there's nothing that's gonna stop me. This woman could hate me after we have this child, but I refused for him to not have pictures of us together, so he could be like, look, like, this is my mom and my dad, and then like, when he has kids, he could be like, look, this is your grandparents doing this with me, and this, I remember doing this, and then, yes, baby. I have that game. We can play it later, okay? Yeah, and I think that the outlook that I had from what my parents did negatively helps, like, allows me to turn around and do it positive for my own. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That reflection of like looking at our parents, right? And this is why I did want to say, I want to kind of double back on what I was saying. And I hope people who listen understand when we do these podcasts and shit. We're speaking from a lot of different places. Sometimes it's experience, sometimes it's through observation, some of it's through, just the stories that we hear. And it's good to hear, like Damien said it, Cisco, you said it. It's like sometimes coming from a broken home is better than coming from a broken home. You get what I'm saying? Like, coming from a place where, like, Elijah will never know the difference. Elijah will never know the difference of life. He was young enough to where he'll never know the difference. But I was not. Sydney was Sydney. I was not a good boyfriend. I was not the man that I needed to be. I was not the man that I am now. And the man that I am now is the man that he needs in his life. It's the man that he deserves in his life. You get what I'm saying? And the relationship that me and his mom have now is the one that he needs in his life. You get what I'm saying? Because what he had then, I'm not ashamed, right? But I was mean. I was mean. I was not a good partner. You know what I'm saying? And to be in there yelling and shouting and whatever is not a good place for my son to be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad. I mean, she's a better woman now. I'm a better man now. He gets to see his mother be loved. He watches me just be loved by him. So it's all good. Like, you get me? Like, it's all we're gravy out here in this fucking USA. So there is pros. There is pros for having single parent homes, if there's a healthy balance with, I don't want to say like parental figures, but like just figures in a kid's life. You know what I mean?
So that kind of goes into, I was gonna ask D first, but we didn't get too far into what D's relationship with, like, you said your father got married like recently, right?
Yeah, it was last year. But he's been with her for like 12 years, so long.
Okay,
time.
so so you've known her for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Has she always been like motherly towards you?
Yeah, she's always been, I mean, super nice.
And I don't mean like, like, do you call her your stepmom?
No,
I mean, like,
but yeah,
like,
she's like taking care of me, and she's cooked for me. She's picked me up from school. She's like done a lot of good things. For sure.
Mike. Okay, so I guess I'll start with D first, just because I know that Corpse and I have had lots of conversations. I wouldn't say lots of conversations. I know that we have touched on this subject a couple times in the past. So did you feel like, because I'm assuming you would go back and forth from your mom's house to your dad's house, and did your mom ever like have somebody else in the house as well?
Yes, yeah. I mean, there was she had her. I mean, she had boyfriends. Most of them long term, but never like, never anything like super. She didn't get
But that lived with
remarried
you.
till-
But that lived with you is what I'm saying.
I want to say like maybe 3, maybe something like that. She
Okay.
was. I think she was pretty. She was relatively pretty careful on like who she introduced me to. It wasn't like a, you know, it wasn't like a
No
normal
randos.
normal thing that I would ever meet. Yeah, her.
Like,
her
oh, this
boyfriend.
is my friend Jeff. Like,
Yeah, and then like 2 weeks later, it's like this is whoever.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. It was just like
This is Gilbert.
this is
Yeah.
this is somebody, and he's been in my life for like a couple years now, and we're introducing you, and whatever. That's
So
how
it
I
took
knew
a
was-
couple. It took a couple years.
probably like a
for-
year, not a couple year, probably like a year, and they were like really together, and they were dating for a good period of time. And
See, I think a year.
very
I
up
think a
from there.
year is a solid amount of time. I
I
think
think
it's
so
a year
too.
to introduce to your kids.
Mhm. And then,
Personally,
like, after that-
personally.
And then after that year, I would like know them for I want to say like the first one I knew for like 4 years after I met him initially.
Hold your tongue, Corpse. Hold your tongue. Okay, so this is my question to you, then. D. We can touch back on that subject in a little bit.
Sure, sure. I don't know what just happened, but sure.
But so do you feel like there was a shift in the households? I know you, granted, you were young. You were like 12 years old when your dad started dating this woman, probably started bringing her around or whatever.
Yeah,
So
it's probably like 10
Do you-
years old, younger. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you go. Sorry.
younger? You just said
Oh,
12
younger.
years. Damn, she been
No,
around
it
longer,
couldn't have
longer?
been. Yeah, I think I was 7 when she came around, so it had to have been longer. I'm wrong then. I'm wrong. on that
17
shit.
years? I mean, are we doing the maths? Mathing?
I'm
think
trying,
I'm
dude.
math.
I'm trying to like do.
Anyway,
You're
it doesn't matter. I
24,
was
right?
very young. I was
You're
very
24,
young.
right?
I was very young. Yes, I just
Okay.
turned 24. No, I must have
so-
been. Anyway, it
So
doesn't
let's say
matter. Keep going,
15
keep
years.
going.
Solid
We'll say,
15.
yeah, we'll say
Something like
15
that.
years.
So 15
Okay,
15
Very
years.
long time. Double.
So, well, maybe you weren't old enough to realize, but like, did you feel that there was a shift in the household once, like it had your? Do you care if I call your stepmom?
no. Go. Yeah.
Okay. Some people are like weird about that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I get it.
Do you feel like there was a shift once your step in the house when you would go to when it was your dad's turn to have you? Do you feel like there was a shift in the house once she started coming around? Like a different in dynamic, a difference in the quality of you being there, and or like what you would learn, how you were taken care of, things of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things where there's this one instance where I was like, I was really peeved off because I was like, bro, you're not my mom. Like, get off, bro. And this is why it was so stupid too. Every day I would come home from school and I would eat, and then I had like my routine. I would come home from school, eat, and then like do my homework, and then like watch TV or whatever, or like watch TV, do my homework, whatever. I got my homework done at some point. And my dad let me watch shows that I probably shouldn't have been watching. I was watching like South Park, stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I heard her in the kitchen. She was
Typical
like,
Mexican family.
and she was like, "Yo, he shouldn't be watching that, because that's a really bad show." My dad knows it's a bad show. We watched this shit together. It's a funny show. And then he comes by and he's like, "Hey, buddy, like we got to change the channel or something." And I was like, "Bro, we like you swear like we haven't been watching this shit for years at this point, or like a year or two at this point." And I'm like, "You swear like that shit pissed me off." But
What else happened? You didn't even tell the rest of the story.
But I just felt like, bro, who are you?
Yeah,
I
like
just
you're
felt
stepping
why-
on me and
how
my
are
dad's
you?
time.
How are you gonna come in and tell me that I can't watch something that my
Wait,
father let me
were
watch?
you currently watching it together?
I was
or-
literally right there watching it.
Oh,
as
just
we
you,
speak.
just you though.
just me.
Okay, so your dad wasn't in there watching it with you, and she
They
didn't
were
come
so
back.
this is how it's formatted. So like the living room, and then like to the side is the kitchen, where it's no doorways or anything, so I could hear everything they're saying. I knew it was her. I knew she said that.
I knew it was you.
I know it was you.
Mendark.
So you felt like he switched up on you.
I just felt like how are you gonna come in to here and acting like you can give orders? Like what do you mean?
Oh, you're stepping.
Oh, okay,
You're
hold
stepping
on.
up.
Okay, but was she giving orders, or did she say like he probably shouldn't be watching that?
She probably said it something like that. But like, who I don't know who you to comment on like what he allows me to watch. You know what I mean?
You're not my mom.
I mean, I think that's
You're
fair.
not.
I think that's
No.
fair. I think that's
How?
extremely fair.
No, why? If
Okay, so here's why. Because it's from a different perspective. It's from an outside perspective, right?
sure.
And it's from a male to male perspective. Like there's things that my father has definitely let me do in my life that my mom has been like, I can't believe your father let you do that.
That's what I'm saying.
and-
But that's your
and
mom who's saying that.
But I don't think it matters.
I think it matters.
I don't
a
think it
lot.
matters. I think it just matters from.
But
a
the
woman's
weight
perspective.
of how you would take, like if my mom was like, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, okay, you're my mom. That means a lot to me.
Sure.
at
Here's the thing is
time.
here's the thing though. This is why I'm saying it's fair. Why I think it's fair. One, she didn't tell you to stop watching.
No, she didn't tell me.
Had she have told you, maybe this conversation would be a little bit different. It's okay, baby. Two, she went up to your dad and said he probably shouldn't be watching. Like he probably shouldn't be watching that, right?
Yeah,
wasn't
probably,
like,
but
wasn't
I
like,
am.
wasn't like, oh, go make him turn it off. Oh, it wasn't like, why are you letting him watch that? Shit like that. Your dad took it upon himself to be like, all right, bud, you know, maybe she's right. Let's change the channel. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Nah,
Yeah,
it
that's
wasn't
why
like
I
she-
was like,
No,
"You're
no,
tripping
no,
on
no, no,
her." I
no.
would have
Yeah, it
been
wasn't-
like tripping on my dad, like, "Yo,
yeah,
you're
it wasn't
listening
like
to
it
her?"
wasn't like she was coming from a malicious place. You're probably like fucking 10 years old watching these fucking
Yeah, but I was watching them
horrible
anyway.
jokes. But that's not the point. You're missing the point. Like it's kind of going over your head.
Maybe I understand what you're saying. I understand. It wasn't like necessarily her coming up to me or whatever, but
It wasn't
I just-
malicious. I don't think it was malicious.
But remove her. I don't think it was malicious. I don't think she was trying to like be my mom or whatever. I just think it was just like, bro, why the fuck even say anything? Like you're coming into somebody else's home and you're suggesting things that they maybe shouldn't be doing. It's kind of none of your business right now. Like,
Why
feel like
does she not? Did she not live there?
no, she didn't live there.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like,
ah.
I don't know, bro. Like it's kind of not your business what I'm watching. Like it's not your say at all.
I mean, it wasn't her say, anyways. Like it wasn't her say. It was your dad's say.
remove her saying that he would have never done anything.
We'll never know, right?
Because
it
I
happened.
mean, but
No,
it was something that he
I
was
do
doing
know.
with his dad,
It's-
anyways. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like it was like a regular thing.
Were you not allowed to watch the show anymore after that?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't even remember.
Whoa, that moment was like so present, but I don't think it was.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to disagree with that statement because and I'll put it to you from this perspective, right? Shit, we could even ask Putch because he deals with a stepfather.
We also
Well,
asked if there
I'll-
was a-
I'll
you
say
also asked if
this.
there was a shift, right? There was like that was just a little shift, but I was like, bro,
I mean that's a nurturist. Well, that's what I was gonna get to. That's what I was trying to get to. Is that
my bad.
that's because of what I've talked about before, especially with Corpse, is that when you do have two parents in a household, typically the balance is nature and nurture, right? And it's typically the woman's job to nurture, whereas it's the male's job to teach nature. So your dad doesn't give a fuck if you're watching. Like I'm cussing in front of Peanut right now. I don't. People could look at me and be like, "Oh my god, that's fucking horrible," but like, what? It's not. I don't look at it as a bad thing. You know what I mean? But I guarantee you, if anybody was to ever tell me, like, "Hey, you probably shouldn't say those types of things in front of your son," I guarantee you, it'd probably be a woman.
Sure.
Because
let's say I don't know. Let's say it's a girl that you've been dating. You've been like, yo, I looked at that podcast and you probably shouldn't be saying that around your kid. I saw that you were like in your house. You probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, and then I would
Fuck
probably
off.
think to myself, I would probably think to myself, why? Why should I not say those things?
Well, because it's a nurturing, like I care.
Okay, exactly. That's
But what would you
okay.
do? What would you do?
Okay, hold on. I'll put it to you like
I would
this,
have the
right?
conversation. I would have the conversation on why. What if I see the benefits on why your nurturistic values will help in this situation? Then I totally get it. I could see why a woman would say, "Hey, you probably shouldn't be fucking watching South Park at 9 years old," because have you ever watched the movie? They say fuck like 150 times in that movie.
See, but I don't want to say that it's going to be like a woman versus a man's thing because I think men are just as prone and privy to it, right? Like because
Disagree. This is
especially
Like we know, like
It
we
just-
know
it-
it's wrong.
because when you think about it, bro, like honestly, is what it boils down to is how interactive people are really trying to be in this kid's life. Because like for let's just take it at base is this is a woman coming in or a man coming into a relationship. They don't have kids, and so they're watching this happen, and they're kind of like experimenting with this parental authority. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. They kind of gotta do that to kind of step into that role. And so like to me, like I can kind of understand where Damien's coming from, because if somebody came up to me and was like, hey, you probably shouldn't be smoking weed on your podcast, I'd be like, fuck off. Like who are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who are you, bro? Like, sure,
Yeah, but
you
what does weed on the
listen
podcast have to do with your kid? Is what I'm saying.
because I don't trust their opinion on what I'm doing right now. Right. So Damien, in that moment, when he's listening to this woman say this, it's like, I don't trust your opinion on what I'm doing right now. I do this with my dad all the time. Like,
Yeah, but the thing is, his dad trusted the opinion, therefore acted on it.
now,
That's whose opinion
Now.
matters, right?
now we can go into a whole spew with that
Oh,
because it's
no.
like,
But I mean,
Did-
that's ultimately he took the action based off what she said.
yeah,
It
but there's
wasn't.
but there's
it had
also a
nothing to
list
do with
of
Damien.
Well, but
there's
that's
a
why I'm
list,
saying
but there's a list of reasons why he could have even made that choice. That's a whole different topic.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean?
okay.
That's a whole nother
Continue.
rabbit hole. That's another whole nother rabbit hole. So just based off of the child alone, right? Like they're going to be defiant, right? Especially with people who are newly coming into the fold, right? And yes, there is a nature versus nurture, but if my nurture is coming from another place, I don't need your nurture, right? Like if there is sometimes a weird resiliency there, because I remember my dad.
What do you mean if your nurture is coming from a different place?
I got a mom.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's ask
Like-
this. Damien, did your mom let you watch South Park?
Listen, we're not here to talk about my mom, okay?
Hold on, answer the question. For the sake of argument, for the sake of this argument, did your mom
Kinda
let you
little-
watch South Park?
It's getting a little hot in here, okay?
I know what the answer
Take
is.
the light
I
off
know
of
what the
me,
answer
okay?
is. Because I know what the answer is.
Actually, the genuine answer, the genuine
I don't know.
answer
I don't
is
remember.
I didn't watch South Park at her house because wait.
Why did you not watch South Park at her house?
The reason I didn't watch South Park at her house was because she had cable, and I would watch Disney Channel and all that shit.
That's such.
But at my
bullshit.
dad's
That's such
house-
a bullshit answer.
I'm not. No.
That's
I'm not even.
such a
I'm not
bullshit
It wasn't
being
even
happy.
available.
That's
No.
such a
But
bullshit
at my
answer.
dad's house, we didn't have cable, so we watched like the local channels, and so South Park was on, and it was one of the most entertaining ones. That's genuinely no bullshit. I wish I was joking. That's literally why
Cable has South Park too, though.
it does. But I like.
So if South Park was that good, you were sitting there watching fucking
it wasn't. But
Lizzie
that's,
McGuire.
I'm not arguing that it was my favorite show. I'm just saying it was just something that we did. It was like a
For
thing.
the
that
sake
we
of
did.
argument, if you okay, well, let's take it a step further. Would your mom have been okay with you watching South Park, or did you do it because you were at your dad's house?
The thing is that I think you're thinking of it like I loved the show. I didn't love.
No,
the show.
I'm
It
not
wasn't
thinking
my
of it
favorite
like
show.
anything. We
Oh, okay,
you
okay.
just brought there like
It's my. It
the
wasn't.
fact
my
of the matter
favorite
is
show.
it was South Park. Like,
Sure.
would you have watched? The question's simple. Would
Okay.
you have watched South Park at your? Would your mother have allowed you to watch South Park at her house?
At that age, probably not.
Okay,
But it never.
So the
came from
nurture
her.
comes
It
from-
never came from her though.
but she was never given the opportunity.
Sure, and that's kind of besides the point. She was.
No, it's
she
not.
was
So
never-
this is
she
the
was
point that
never
I'm
made
trying to
aware
make
of
is
it.
that this young lady, who is now your stepmother, made a suggestion based off that nurturistic standpoint that she had as the woman in the household or the woman that was around in the household, and said, "Hey, he probably shouldn't be watching that." And your father took it upon himself to say, "You know what? You're probably right, because I never even thought of it like that."
Well, I'll say this,
Maybe.
right? So there was a situation when we were in Washington, D.C., because this is a very similar situation, but it's where she was wrong, right? We were in Washington, D.C., and my dad was dating this woman. and she was there with us, right? We're here for this huge march, the museum's opening up, blah blah blah. So me and my sister are like right here fucking around, like, you know what I mean? Like I think I like punched her in the leg or something. Like we're like fucking around, we're like young kids, you know what I mean? And old girl chimes in and goes, "Hey, I don't think your parents would like it if you were doing that."
Oh.
And I was like, "Excuse the fuck out of me, bitch." Like, you know what I mean? Like, whoa. And I remember I like kind of clapped back. Like I said something like, "You don't know what my parents would like." Like, you know what I mean? And my dad approached me about it later and I spoke with him. And I do remember thinking like, yo, this is how I play at home. Like this is us being us. Like, you know what I mean? So you're very wrong about all this. And I even remember telling my dad, like, I don't like her speaking to me like that. Like, you need to tell your girlfriend, like, she's not my mom. Like, I would never do anything in front of her, in front of y'all that I would not do, period. Like, you know what I mean? And I mean, that was the truth. You know what I mean? And so my dad stopped dating her.
Oh, shit.
So my dad stopped dating her.
See,
But it was like,
I disagree with that, bro. Like I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Because let me ask you a question: if you took Elijah to the park, right,
mhm,
and you see some fucking kid being a straight dickhead at the park,
mhm.
would you not walk up to that kid and be like, "Hey, I don't think that's very nice. Like I don't think your parents would appreciate that very much."
Well, that's also dealing with a different child, right? Where she's trying to step into our family and be near us.
See, and I think that's where the bias comes in. I think that's where the bias comes in. I think that's where I think both of you are looking at it in a different light, right? Like you're not my mom. I have a mom,
Mhm.
type of thing, right?
Well, that's like, well, the thing is, I feel like, yeah, because we're looking at it two different ways, because you're asking us as the child looking at it how we saw it versus how maybe like a third person might see, like it was.
Well, no,
it
I'm asking about your thoughts on it now. The whole point of this conversation
Well, but
is
the
like,
initial question was there ever a shift that I felt? And
yes,
like one of the
that was the question that I asked you in the beginning. Yes,
so that whole South Park thing was the first, maybe not the first, but like a big one that was so stupid that it was like a shift that I didn't like, that I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, you're not my mom, okay? Just
so it was a
relax,
negative.
chill.
Okay. I apologize.
So that's why I even brought that up. There was like things with my dad, with my mom too, and like I remember there's this one, and I don't know if he'll ever remember this, but it was the first time that I really like was like, oh shit, like maybe I shouldn't talk about like my mom's business to my dad, my dad's business to my mom. I think I told my dad something that my mom's boyfriend at the time told me, and he was like, "Oh, did your mom's fucking boyfriend say that shit?" And I was like, "Ooh, maybe I should have said this shit." Like, that was a weird shift that I had never seen that side of my dad be like, we're like jealous towards somebody. That was a weird thing.
Okay, so I think the concept of my question was kind of misinterpreted, and I understand why.
Okay,
maybe I. Okay, so let me backtrack, because I was trying to base the concept of this conversation moving forward off the initial topic at hand, right? Like the difference between multiple parents or a multiple adult household in comparison to one. And I think we like kind of went on a little bit of a tangent and a whirlwind. So let me see if I can find a better way to preface this.
I think looking at it now, right? I think kind of looking back at the whole thing is like looking back at it now, right? Yeah, I would want Elijah to act much different than the way that I did, right? But at the same time, when you have a new, because obviously I go through it. I got, I'm a dad, right? So trying to date, I tell girls, like, once we start getting involved, like, hey, let's just keep this about me and you. You know what I mean? Let's just keep this about me and you. Don't worry about it. Like, let's not worry about that. And even this past one, I was trying to be real serious. And even then, I was like, just worry about loving me first, right? Like you loving Elijah will come. Like that will come, and he'll love you on his own time.
Was she like, I want to meet him, and this and that?
Yeah, very, and was excited about it and all these things, right? I would want my son to act accordingly on the way that she made him feel versus the way that I feel about her, if that makes sense. I don't want him to be so respectful and so nice and so loving to her just because I feel those things. I want him to feel that way because she makes him feel that way. You get me? Like, if, yeah, let my son tell you his secrets if he feels safe with you. Yeah, let my son bow his fucking head down when you speak if he feels the need to respect you that way. Have you earned his respect that way? Because at the end of the day, that's my son. You feel me? Like, and that sucks because you kind of have to back them up in situations. But in situations, yeah, get on their fucking noggin, dude. Like, you to not have that authority to those people, you know what I mean? I get it. Like, they have to be able to have that type of authority. But it's not my job. It's not my kid's job just to bow down to you just because I like you. You know what I mean? Or I think you're special. It's not their job to. You got to earn that shit. They're a completely different relationship. You know what I mean? Like, they're your own relationship that you got to build. And because I'm still working on it.
That one's a little tough, I think, too. I don't think it's solely their job to bow down if they want to. Especially because of how you feel about that person. Like, if you're gonna tell me right now, if you decided, okay, Oscar, hey, if you decided, okay, I'm gonna wait 1 year before I introduce Elijah to this young lady, I'm gonna fall madly in love with her in that year's time, and then Elijah doesn't like her, you're just gonna be done with her?
No. That's maybe that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is their relationship is theirs to build, right? That's theirs to build. Now, daddy's going to be with her. You get what I'm saying? Like, as long as she's not mean to him, like those are the observations I got to make.
But that's what I'm saying. What if he feels that she's being mean?
That's something that daddy's got to watch. You get me? And that's what makes it tricky.
What if you and Elijah like watch South Park all the time, and she says, "Hey, I don't think he should be watching that."
Then you throw down and you leave her right then and there. Okay, that's how you deal with that.
Then that's something that me and his mom need to have a discussion about. But I'll take your words into consideration.
I think it's good. I think
that's perfect. That's what I'm saying, though. Like that. It's just for the consideration standpoint, right? But it would have been a different thing had she gone up and been like, "Hey, you're not gonna watch this. Like, do you know what? You know what I mean? Like,
if you create an ultimatum, then I mean, it just depends how that conversation goes, honestly. Because if it's like if you let him watch this is going to cause problems in our relationship. It's like, bitch, you are a problem in our relationship right now. Like, so get the fuck out. Like, no way. Like, this is a conversation me and Sydney will have. Now, right? Me being a mature young man, if I would not tell Sydney that he was watching South Park, then I'll probably be like, hey, bud, we got to turn off the South Park, dude. Like, like, I'm sorry. You probably feel betrayed. And you're like, God damn it, Dad, this bitch. Like,
a lot of things broke that day. That's why.
All the bonds and trust were broken because I had to turn South Park off. Do you remember what episode it was?
What? No.
Took that shit right.
I'm just trying to see how memorable this
was.
Homie.
It was, it's not like sometimes it's not the thing, it's the act of the thing that is important to you.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't care that we go somewhere. I care that we spend time together. You know what I mean? That was the thing. And so I don't know. It was just like, damn, like, so bro.
Did you feel like okay, so there's the deeper part of it, right? Did you feel that because you couldn't watch South Park anymore, it was like taking away a thing that you and your dad had together?
Yes.
There it is. So it wasn't about the fucking show itself. It was about the action of now I can't watch this show with my dad anymore.
Well, that's why I said it was like stupid. Like it wasn't my favorite show. It wasn't like the best thing in the world. It was just like something that I don't know. I feel like I'm that type of person though, to pick like little things, even if they're not memorable to you, little things that like, oh, we did this together, or we did this thing, or this is our thing, or whatever.
Well, I'm telling you, I need to fucking be a therapist. I'm breaking down barriers, baby. I would fight with all my fucking clients, all my patients.
And honestly, like, just to even keep thinking about like the whole like 2-parent, 1-parent. I think.
Yeah, let's get back on that because that's what I was trying to get into.
And dude, I think like because I did see in the Discord where it's like mom, dad, whatever kind of household. I think an issue that we're really needing to address, right? Is like, I really don't care, dude. You want to be gay and married, have kids? I don't give a fuck. I don't care, right? Just raise the kids right, right?
Well, what's
And
right?
right looks different to a lot of different people. Okay, so to me, for me to say right is that they are virtuous, right? And they have morality, right? And that they look kindly onto other people. Be nice, right? Can we just teach our kids to be nice first before we teach them all this other shit?
How about if we teach them to, it's okay to be a girl.
Bro, that's for your household. Right?
Wait, what? What?
That's why let's just start with being nice, because for me to be nice,
It's not
and
okay to be a girl, but it is okay to be nice. Okay.
just be nice. Okay, because when the reason why I say be nice is because what you're doing in your house that has nothing to do with me, right? And that's me being nice. That's me being nice.
Okay,
Saying
yeah.
that's got nothing to do
I
with
agree
me.
with that.
You do what you do. Don't bother me and mine. Just don't bother us, bro. It comes off so crudely, and it sounds a little like,
It doesn't though. It does not.
to
It
some
does not
people it
come off
may,
good at all.
because they want me to be more accepting. You know what I mean? To some people it seems harsh because they want me to accept. I'm not going to accept it. Sorry about it, but I don't mind you doing what you're fucking doing, bro. Like, everybody has
That makes
the right.
that makes you transphobic by saying
I
that.
don't give a fuck.
Homophobic, misogynist.
I'm not scared of
Why?
you.
I don't think it's
I'm being
like,
I'm being sarcastic. bro.
Phobic
I'm
means
just
to
saying,
be scared of. I'm
I'm
not
saying-
afraid.
I'm
of
No,
you.
I know.
how
but
in this day and age.
No,
you
but I
say-
know what you're saying. I kind of agree with you, but that's why I'm saying why. Like, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Why what? Wait, what are you saying? What are you agreeing with, and what are you asking? Why?
I agree that the fact that he said something like that, some people could view it as like homophobic or transphobic and stuff like that. But I'm saying, like, why exactly? It's just
Why
a
do
weird-
they say that? Why do they say that it's transphobic?
What a
or
part of that, I
homophobic?
guess, is
Because I'm not
Because you're
agreeing to it.
disagreeing. Because you're not agreeing to. You're not necessarily disagreeing to what they're saying, but you're not agreeing to it.
you're just
Bro,
kinda
my
neutral
sister's
on it.
lesbian, and I tell her all the time, I don't know why the fuck you would want to date a woman. Like, I don't know why you guys are choosing that for your own fucking life. Like, and she tells me, like, oh, my
not a
girlfriend's
choice.
not. She goes, my girlfriend's not lesbian. She just fucks bitches. I was like, that's just so retarded.
Sounds
Like,
like a
you know what I
Drake
mean?
like lyric.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
that's genuinely the issue that we have in this world right now. Zero is that if you don't agree, you're the enemy.
yeah.
Mm,
But let's keep the main thing the main thing.
No,
Let's keep the
hold
main
on.
thing. Let's keep the
Oh,
main thing.
because no, because there's some discernment and some disagreement.
I think
in that tone.
I think there's some validity to if you. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
let's
have the
get
right
there.
words. I'm not gonna have the right words.
There's some validity to
There's some
you not.
validity to not needing. There's some validity to if you don't necessarily agree. I think it should be okay. You should be able to have disagreements. You should, like, if you don't want to raise your kid in a certain way or agree to certain things, that should be fine. That should be completely normal. I think yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not ready for this right now. We can stick on whatever right now.
No. We're going to this. We're going to this. This is what I want to go to. It's my night. It's my night. This is what we're going to.
Sure. How was New York?
No. We go into what you were just talking about. We go into what you just talked about. New York was great.
I think it's
But we go into
good.
what
I'm
you
glad.
just
I'm glad you're back home safe, man. How's your
I'm
flight?
glad I'm back. The flight was. Stop trying to get me away. The flight was horrible. It
Bro, was
the
there
worst flight
bad
I've ever
traffic
been
in
on.
New York though? Because like last time I went,
Yes. What the fuck? That is just one big traffic jam.
oh, it's always just like that.
yes.
Does it smell like piss?
Queens.
It always
does.
smells like peas.
Where did you
Queens.
go?
I've never
Like,
gone to
where?
Queens.
Like, what did you visit?
I visited New York, bro. Like I went. I'll send you the pictures. I got a bunch of pictures in my phone.
Did you go to like Staten Island? Did you go to the Bronx?
I-
you go to World
Brooklyn?
Trade?
I'll send you all the pic. Yeah, I did. Actually, I had lunch there.
That's
It was awesome.
Beautiful.
I had,
Oh, sick.
I had lunch in Central Park.
Beautiful
It was
building.
absolutely amazing. Look, if I could tell anybody anything, this is the only thing I'm going to say about New York. Okay, God damn it. Then we're going back to this.
Cats at
if
what
I-
part of New York?
I flew into New York City and then I just went all around. But if you can ever like get a sandwich from a corner shop deli, and they sell fucking beer and White Claws, and like get one of those and go sit by yourself in Central Park and put your headphones in and eat a sandwich and have a White Claw, it is absolutely amazing. I would recommend it 100% to everybody.
Did you get a chopped cheese?
Do you have
No,
bacon,
I
egg,
did
and
not get a
cheese?
chopped cheese.
Bacon, egg,
But
and cheese?
no, I don't eat eggs.
Oh
you're
yeah.
fucking
Bacon. What is it?
Sausage.
Hash brown and cheese.
Oh yeah.
No,
Hash brown and cheese. Nah, that sounds fire though.
I
don't eat
mean,
breakfast.
I'm trying to-
Yes.
I know you substituted for hash browns. Did you have to put it in a bag?
Put
To
what
drink?
in the bag?
Because can't you not do public intoxication or whatever? Isn't that a thing? In
See,
the US?
that's the part that confused the fuck out of me because I thought I couldn't drink on the street, right? So
That's yeah.
I did have it in a brown paper bag, but then I walked like 15 blocks down to Times Square, and they literally have a bar right in the middle of Times
Square,
like, on
you
the
can.
outside.
Oh,
Times Square, you can. Times Square, you can.
I know there's like certain spaces where you, like Vegas, you can like open drink. That's fine. I didn't know if New York you could. That's why I
Okay,
was
wait. So let's get back to what we were talking about because I do have a dope ass question in here but I want to hear what you had to say first about the disagreeing thing and being an enemy if you don't agree.
Whoa, because I didn't
Part of
say
the
any
problem,
that.
or part of the problem, or
I think
whatever the
there's-
fuck you were gonna say.
I think Corpse's overall message is fine. Like, as long as it's like, you know what, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. But you can't be like super open to everything and then just be shut down whenever you don't like something. I agree with that. I think that's true. Like, you don't like the way I'm living my life. In that case, like, I have every right to say that I don't like the way you're living your life.
Oh, and the hot dogs on the corners, don't get them with chili unless you like whole beans. Sorry,
Is it-
I just thought about that in my head right now.
Whole beans.
I like poodles.
I had a lot of I had a lot of like street food, which the lamb over rice with the sauce, whatever fucking sauce they put on it,
Oh,
is
yep.
fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, my bad. Continue.
I think too often things get over politicized, and also we react to like the very, very, very loud minority of people who believe in the most extreme shit. I think for the most part, people who like believe that trans people are fine, like, and that you should get hormone therapy or whatever, they're pretty reasonable people, and trans people are like pretty reasonable.
they?
People.
Oh, you think
Yeah.
the people that agree with trans people getting hormonal therapy are reasonable people?
Yeah, probably. Like the
Even-
vast majority of them, probably, yeah.
Even the ones that are saying that you should get hormonal therapy like before the age of 18.
This is where we're talking about.
Yes, I can see
smaller
them being-
minorities.
I can
Do
see them
you-
being reasonable, but they are unreasonable about a certain situation.
You're-
They are probably very reasonable people about most things, but this one thing I may think that
Well, okay. Is that a reasonable statement?
Yeah, like
Children should get hormone therapy.
you're trying to go there, dude. I love it. No, absolutely not. It's so unreasonable. It's illogical, and it's borderline
getting all the way
illogical-
there tonight.
Illogical is a wild.
Ill-
statement.
illogical.
It is
It's illogical.
absolutely
No,
illogical.
No, because
Tell me one logical standpoint behind giving a
you-
child
if you always come if
hormones.
you come at it with like, I don't know. I feel like you
Sorry,
I
Marlo.
heard this
I
one.
promise you I'll get to what you were saying.
We'll get to the. What about transports? We're not talking about transports right now.
Oh, trans.
No,
sports.
trans-
No.
Come on.
Listen, we'll finish with this and then we'll go on to the question because we have a question. Damn, I just lost my train of thought. I think, you always have to come. I heard this once that you always have to come with a thought process that whoever is positioning a thought to you, whether it be super radical or super not, you have to come to it with the mindset that they actually want the best for society and people in general. And I think that's completely fair. I think most people probably want that. Like even the people who want the crazy shit, it's like they want the betterment of people all over, and it reflects by their beliefs whether they be wrong or not, right? The people who think crazy conspiracy theories just want the people to be free and know everything. The people who want kids on HRT and shit like that, they just want people to live their lives in the best way that they could see, right? That's what they want. That's like both sides want the same thing. They're different ways of getting there. So I think in some sense it's logical, but obviously, like, I wouldn't want my kid to get tattoos. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They think they're dinosaurs until they're 7.
Tattoos
So,
and
but-
fucking hormone therapy are two completely different things.
Dude, they're what? I know they're different. I know they're
They are
different.
absolutely completely different things.
I know they're different things, but as far as like what you're doing to, like, if you're gonna say, like, if you're gonna vouch for tattoos on children,
I'm
Is
not
that what
vouching.
you're-
No,
okay,
I'm not
okay,
vouching
okay,
for
okay.
tattoos on children. I'm just
No.
saying
Okay.
that I don't
Yeah.
see how those things go hand in hand at all.
No, they don't go hand in hand. I'm not saying they're of equal.
You just
equal
use
footing.
them. You just use them as similar.
I'm just saying in the same mindset of like kids don't know what they want, what they're doing. So why would
Okay,
you let
okay.
somebody like tattoo their kid, make their own decision?
But that's why at 18, right? That's when you're able to get a tattoo because you are now considered an adult.
An adult, you're like more
Bro,
developed. there's a lot more-
Damien should be a politician because he doesn't know how to answer a question like.
But a
straight
tattoo at see now
How?
this is the thing.
Hey,
This is the
here's my
thing.
question. No, my question,
I'm sorry.
Damien,
Okay,
is you said how is it? You said you don't believe that it's illogical to give children hormone therapy.
I
That's
didn't
what you-
say- I didn't
Yes, you
say
did.
that. I said-
You literally said that.
I said
You literally said-
illogical.
Hold on.
Because
Let's push.
the logic is right. The logic
Or
is
that it wasn't illogical. And we said it. Corbs
it
and
is.
I
You
both
guys
said that it's illogical.
illogical.
And you said that it wasn't illogical. So I'm asking you, how is it not illogical to give children under the age, like prepubescent children, hormone therapy, puberty blockers?
I said I think if you come at it with the fact that the logic,
we just
is
want them
in-
to be happy.
No, the logic is in you want people to be able to live their best lives in a way that they can decide and as early on as possible. So there's like certain things that you're obviously with, especially with the trans situation being super unique and in that they have to change a lot of their maybe biology, and the later that they do that, the harder
They don't
it
have
gets.
to. They don't
No,
have
they
to.
don't have to.
That's the thing, is they don't have to.
But if doing that would make them feel more comfortable, then doing it at an earlier age would be better in not like a for your body better, right? But for your mental, if that were to help your mental
As
in
a
the
child?
long run, in the
As a
long
child.
run, in the long run.
Okay, so okay.
In a
In the long
perfect
run,
world,
right?
in the
No,
perfect
no, no,
world,
no, no, no. We're not doing none of this perfect world bullshit because perfect world doesn't exist.
in this world,
No. Okay, so let me ask you this. What is it what is an acceptable age to start allowing children to do the quote unquote things that will make their life better in the long run? i.e. puberty blockers and hormone therapy.
18.
I'm asking Zero because he's the one who is Zero frozen? Did he freeze? He froze. Did we lose him? Motherfucker, he did that shit on purpose,
He
dog.
bombed his stream.
He fucking did that shit on purpose.
Oh, I gotta sneeze, but it won't come out. Oh my god.
Damn, he motherfucker got away from me.
No, Cisco.
This
What did
motherfucker
you
got away.
do?
I scared his ass away. Oh no, we fucking straight up lost him, dog.
Yeah.
I was coming for his ass.
No,
too,
he'll all you gotta do is go back through the link and he'll be back in here.
I was coming for his ass.
I mean, I get what he's saying, where it's like you
How?
because you want people to live the life that's going to make them happy.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree with that 100%.
So I understand that, and the thing is for myself at least, I don't find logic by moving through emotions, right? Emotions are reactionary. You get me? Like I heard a dude say that emotions aren't real. They're simply reactions to a perceived threat. So to move an emotion is to move reactionary.
He just texted us.
Oh yeah. Is to be reactionary, right? And to move with logic is he's able to get back to on the same link. And so logically, right, when you're thinking I'm gonna catch it, but it's all right. Because I walk by faith and not by sight. To give children at 11.
Let's get all the way into it, bro, because we haven't gotten this deep, and I'm ready. If they cancel me, dog.
Hold on, let me text Damien first. But to give children, right? To give children some kind of therapy, blocker, hormone, whatever. No. It's no. These kids aren't are a few years removed from believing in fucking Santa Claus.
Exactly.
Right.
That's my point. That is my point.
And and I get it. You want your kid.
You used to hit them with the like, I got your nose, and they would believe that shit. And then you want to be like, oh, I got your dick. Oh, here he is. Here he is. Here he is. Here
Sorry,
he is.
my shit got
Man is
fucked
back.
up, bro. I was
Man
running
is
from the
back.
conversation. I got so
Yeah,
scared.
you definitely. I was like, this
Dude, I
motherfucker
just started
gonna
going
go-
in. I just started going
Wait,
in. Oh my
sorry.
God.
Say that again one more time.
So, okay. So this is just so I can bounce this ball back on your court, right?
Okay.
Is I can understand where you see a logic behind everybody is just trying to live their best life, right? Like, and I've said it to people about like like their relationships and stuff, people breaking up or they have a falling out or whatever. It's like, bro, everyone's just out here trying to be happy. We just all out here trying to be happy, fam. So I get it. But to me, to move in emotions, right, is like it's reactionary. It's all reaction because your emotions shift on a day-to-day basis. You get me?
Yeah.
And the same things you're sad about yesterday aren't the things you're sad about today. You know what I'm saying? And so fuck, how was it? I was telling Cisco, I heard a saying where it was like the guy was saying that there's no such thing as emotions, right? They're chemical reactions to a perceived threat. Get what I'm saying? And so that's all reactionary movements. So to me, to move in logic is pre-calculated, it's thought out, and it's done. Not to say that these people who are wanting these things that they haven't put some thought into it, but I think long run, when you're going to be, when you're at, let's say 13 years old, wanting to do these surgeries or whatever. I don't really know the process of all this shit because I just don't.
Sure, yeah.
I do. I can tell you.
So let's just park it at a 13-year-old. At 13, you start taking this treatment. At 26, right, you will have lived twice your lifetime, right? Then at 39, you will have lived that lifetime 3 times, right? So when I look at it that way, you're making a decision at 13 that you may have to live with now 3, 4, 5, 6 times over. Like,
it's essentially more than that.
By the way, I just want to say I don't agree. I think that's insane as well. Just to put it out there.
Wait, what do you think is insane?
Hands up, dude. Hands up, bro.
To give hormones to a child. I think it's fucking crazy.
So why are you rationalizing it?
I didn't try to argue it. All I was saying is that you have to you can't like just be like, oh, it's fucking irrational. It's like, yeah, they're not coming from like an irrational spot. They're coming from it like
I get it. No. Everybody has to be happy, right? I agree. I want
thought.
I want everybody to be happy. I genuinely want everybody to be fair to each other and happy. 100%. Absolutely. But you cannot.
It's a rational
the people who are signing off on these children taking these hormone therapies are their parents. That's not fair. Like, that is not fair to your child. Because there's a huge difference.
That's your line in the sand, right?
No, that should be the line in the sand. Because think about it like this:
they decide is kind of on them. That's their shit that they got to deal with when their kids like, bro, I was fucking 12. Why the fuck did you let me do this?
But that's the point. As a parent, you're not supposed to put yourself into a situation where your child can come back and say that.
Yeah, but we do it every day in other ways, though.
Yeah,
because there's a huge difference than walking down the aisles at fucking Target and your kid saying that he wants a toy, and you're like, okay, yeah, let's do that. I want you to be happy, so go get the toy. And then you and your kid walking through a park and him saying like, Dad, I want to be a girl now. Like, there's a huge
there is a huge difference, but it's kind of like I said, it's the line that you draw with your child, and that's the line that they're gonna have to draw with their child. And it's kind of like it's not really up to anybody but how you decide to parent. And it's like, I don't know, I was trying to think of like a similarity, but it's just
when it's parents doing
absolutely horrible.
When it's parents signing it off, that's a parent thing. Again, what you do in your household, bro, is up to you. Now, the only way I combat that, right, is I don't want my taxes going towards that. I don't like that should be a fully private thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mind paying taxes so that we can take care of the elderly. I don't mind paying taxes so people can go to fucking school. Like, you get me? I don't mind that shit.
Mhm.
That, because I do not agree with it, I feel like I should be able to decide where I live inside of a community that also believes the way that I believe, and we don't believe like you know what I'm saying? Like, my home is my home.
That kind of
Your
takes it
home,
away
your
from a democracy, though.
No, that is actually the point of a constitutional republic, is so that you can live in a state like in California, you could blaze weed, bro, all day, but you move to Texas, you'll be arrested.
Sure,
You get what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So that is the vibe I'm talking about. Like,
And
you get what I
that's,
mean?
but that's the vibe that they try to bring. That's the argument that they brought with the abortion laws changing as from a state point
Bro,
instead of
in
a federal
Seattle,
point.
I think it's Seattle. Somebody in the chat, give it a goog. In Seattle, I believe you can now get the kids can now get all the therapies, all that shit done without the consent of a parent, without any kind of sign off or anything.
That's
Like,
fucking,
full blown. I
that shit
think
blows
it's
my mind,
Seattle.
bro.
I
It
think
blows
it's
my mind.
Seattle. That is wrong. To me, 100% no fucking way. Because again, if this kid is 12 years old and is wanting to be defiant, one problem. Two, it's you're going to live with this decision 3, 4, 5, 6 times over.
No, but it's longer than that. And the reason I'm saying that it's longer than that is because what they do is they give these kids these puberty blockers, right?
Mhm.
And supposedly, once they fucking
We're fucking talking about this.
I don't know how we got here. I don't.
once they
don't.
stop taking the puberty blocker. Well, let me just say this.
Something
Zero,
in New York got him. He
Zero,
saw
you
something
saved-
in New York.
you
dude.
saved your
You went
ass.
to China. That's like little China, bro.
You saved your ass, Zero, by saying that you agree with us on this standpoint because I was ready to go toe to
The thing
toe
is,
all night.
I play devil's advocate. Maybe I should.
Oh, I do.
explain
I
that a
do
lot
devil's.
more.
I play devil's advocate all the time, and people
we
hate it.
have to.
But you didn't make your point. You didn't make your point very clear that you agreed. You made it.
Oh,
you
yeah,
were
yeah,
making,
yeah.
you were making
don't
it very
agree with
clear
it.
that you disagreed with everything that we were saying.
I was trying to.
Hence why answer your
argue.
question is answer your question can do a lot of good.
I was trying to argue that no, but I was trying. You were asking why it's illogical, and I was just arguing
It
that
is
like
illogical.
the people who are proposing it aren't thinking of it in the same way that you are.
Yeah.
And that's why
It's
it's not always okay to be like, that's fucking illogical. It's like, well, you have to kind of
I
explore
know
why
it's
there's
not
that.
okay to always say that it's illogical, but this is illogical, bro.
It's a logical thought, but it's a illogical execution on that
Sure.
thought. You get what I'm saying? Like,
It's illogical.
you're trying to be in the end. Yes, in the end, on the back end, it's illogical. That's the end result of what we're
Because
getting.
I'm sure everybody who like would even propose something like this would be like, all right, well, so like your kid's getting tattoos, that's probably fine, right? They'd be like, no, what the fuck? And that'd be like out of this world
Like
thing.
how you
even
keep
though they're
bringing up
not
the
even on the-
tattoo thing.
Well, you just said it was not on the same level. It's not on the same level. I agree, but it would be a lot less detrimental to their like biology in the long term.
And that's the issue. That is
That's
the issue.
That's the issue.
Is the biology of the long run, right? Like I said, bro, they're saying that you can take these puberty blockers at 12 years old. It's gonna stop you from growing hair on your dick or your little tits aren't gonna pop out anymore. And then guess what? It'll stop. Like once you stop taking the hormones, puberty will kick back in right where it left off. Now let me ask you this: you want puberty to kick back in at fucking 18 years old? Now your muscle mass, like your body is all fucked up now. Your body is fucked because you didn't grow for those 5 to 6 years how you were supposed to grow. And then one day you're like, oh shit, I actually don't want to be a woman. I actually want to be a dude. So let me just get off these puberty blockers. And then what? The rest of your life is fucked, bro. That's why.
I mean, my sister
That's why it's
didn't realize-
detrimental. It's
But-
detrimental to the rest of your life.
I agree, but that's where like I think there should be safeguards, and that's kind of up to the parents and how they decide to parent their children and what they do and don't allow their kids to do. That's
Yeah.
kind of like
I have to disagree, bro, because like I have,
Like,
and the only reason I have to disagree is because of the detrimental outcome that it could cause to the rest of your child's life. That's why, give me something else. Give me something else that parents can do through a doctor, through taking their kid to somewhere, and
I
they
will
have
say-
to sign off on something saying that it's okay for them to do that.
As
What?
soon as you're born, your parents can decide whether to chop your dick tip off, and that shit's crazy.
That's
Because
nuts.
It
You're
does.
absolutely right.
It does do a lot of things. It can sever a lot of nerves to
Yep.
the thing.
Yep.
And throughout
That's
your
why.
whole life.
That's why the hospitals, they don't do it for free anymore, and they don't do it right when you're born.
And now the kid has to live like that, and it's kind of up to the parents. Like, you know what? I made that decision. It wasn't up to you. I'm sorry. That's a conversation that they have to have.
Sure. Okay, so now we're relating chopped dick tips.
Well, it's a
hormonal therapy.
biological thing that you're doing at birth that the kid has no say in at all ever.
Yeah. Okay. I can
Okay,
see. I can
okay,
see what you're saying. I
okay.
can see what you're saying.
That was it. That was your only argument.
Well, you said give me something that's like related to.
No, I said give me something that a parent can take their child to because the child wants to. Because the child wants to, right? Like, we're doing it to make the child happy, right?
Sure.
Because the child wants. That was a good argument, though. I've actually never had that argument given against, and that's actually a great fucking argument.
Thank you.
But because the child wants to, what can a parent do that would cause detrimental changes for their child in the future? Because I don't think even chopping off your dick tip, that's not detrimental to your life.
I mean, it definitely changes your life. Like, the way that you would have been otherwise is just different, just way different.
Is it way different?
It's way different. It's like the
I don't know.
sensitivity is like way, way different. And I think there are certain things that can happen.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm not like super well read into it, but I know that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that like it's cleaner.
I don't think
Supposedly,
so.
but I heard I
I'm
have
pretty
read
sure
some
it's
stuff.
cleaner.
I've heard some
I've
stuff.
heard
Yeah.
about the nerve ending thing being like off, like it doesn't feel as good to like have sex and shit like that. But it's definitely cleaner.
Is it cleaner? I don't know.
Absolutely. Yep.
Somebody give it a go. I've
feel-
read different.
I don't know.
You said what?
I've
haven't
heard
li-
different.
haven't
read
read-
I've heard that circumcised dicks are easier to keep clean than uncircumcised dicks.
I don't know. I feel like that. I don't know. I feel like that.
Because
can't
you
be
gotta
true.
like fold the flap back and like.
It's not that hard. You just gotta.
I mean, I know it's not hard, but I'm just saying, like,
I mean,
I'm
I
just
don't
saying
know.
that it's just it's easy, you know, like, yeah.
Chop dick penises, dude. That's what. That's the answer. That's the
I-
answer to life.
I will say.
But give me
I'm-
something
I'm-
else that could cause detrimental harm to a child's body like that, besides, as you said, but when the child wants to do it. Because I've known plenty of people that grow up and wind up going to get circumcised. Plenty of people.
Sure, that's their thing. That's their
Once they
thing.
get older,
Yeah,
and they
That's the
decide, and it, like in their 20s, when they decide that they want to chop their tip, like the tip of their dick off.
that's crazy.
I'm gonna go take a leak.
I mean, is
He
it
said-
crazy? That's
mean, no,
crazy,
it's-
or like a kid saying that they want to be a
It's just
girl,
crazy,
and then
bro.
their
I'm
parents.
20. I've
going
been
in.
having this thing on since I was as long. It's been me and him forever. And at 20,
So
I'm
you
like,
don't you don't have a chopped dick tip, is what you're saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm proud. Okay, I got a hoodie.
Hey, well, needle dicks or nothing, right?
I don't know what needle dicks are.
I'm just playing. I don't have a hoodie, so I'm.
You
I'm
don't?
good. Nope.
Oh, word. Okay.
I was one of those kids that got strapped down, bro. They fucking I mutilated my kid's dick.
Okay. I don't know if I have. I don't know if anything like that exists right now. I will say though, I'm a proponent of definitely having the parent be a very strong safeguard against just like
My headphones were on backwards. I was like,
I'm
where
a-
the fuck is my volume?
I'm a really strong I'm a strong proponent of like, even if something like this did pass where like, okay, it's cool to have like kids be on hormones or whatever the fuck, I'm a big proponent on like, you have to have your parents super okay. There has to be so many different steps before you even get to that. Therapy, different sort of tests, different things that are going on, conversations to be had, group therapies, parents and child, and different things that have been going on. There's a lot of things that have to happen before something like that happens, but I don't know. Ultimately, there is nothing, I don't think, I don't think there's ultimately anything right now that we have that causes detrimental damage or even biological damage to a child that would be of the same caliber, probably.
So, okay. Now, because it's crazy to me, right? And the only, the reason I really brought this up is because earlier, it's interesting. Like, I have my views on, children taking hormone blockers and all that shit, but I will never press that shit onto my kid ever. Like, I will never press hey, if Peanut started telling me hey, I kind of feel like it started, I want to be a girl. I would never be like, no, you're a boy. Because everything in life is fair. And I do believe that sometimes boys do want to be girls. It happens. It does. But it was just funny because I've never pressed him about that kind of stuff. And we were actually in Target earlier today, and we walked down. We were gonna go get him a toy, and we walked down one of the girl aisles, and he was like, "Oh no, this is the girls aisle," and I said, "Oh, you don't want to play with girl toys?" And he was like, "No, because I'm a boy." And I was like, "Oh," and he's like, "Yeah, boys don't play with girls toys."
True.
So I was like, is that the basis of what he's supposed to know?
I think, but the thing is, I think societally, right? Kids typically just are like that. I was like that. Most boys are like that, but there are those little fringe moments where they're not like that, and that's where those beliefs come in. Of yeah, sometimes boys do want to be girls, and girls want to be boys. But majority of both men and women, or boys and girls, are gonna want boys and girl things. That's why there's still a full pink aisle and another one that's monster trucks and shit.
Not so much anymore. It's getting kind of meshed now. It's getting a little meshed.
Actually,
it's getting a little meshed.
Me and my girlfriend were at Target the other day. We were like, bro, what is he talking about? There's clear differences between this shit.
Oh, because the conversation that I had.
Yeah, she was like, bro, these shirts are hella boyish. There's dinosaurs and shit, and they're skateboarding or whatever.
There is some items though that you're starting to see now in the clothing section where it's I don't know. I mean, I definitely wouldn't avoid. I mean, I do remember though being younger and seeing shirts and be like, "Ugh, that's kind of girly." I wouldn't wear that. You know what I mean? It had some girl. I don't know, and I just feel like it's a little heavier these days. But I think it maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just a keenful eye. You know what I mean? As a parent, you just get a little more keenful eye, so maybe it just stands out more now or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I do definitely see more now.
Hey, I love the trans community though.
I do.
I love the trans community. I love the gay community. I love everybody who's willing to stand out and be different. My one standpoint is don't do it to the kids. If you want to be 18 and plus and start taking hormones, by all means, do it. But I think every single parent who has ever put their kid in that situation where they give them hormone therapy is out of their fucking mind and deserves 100% to lose their kids. 100%.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know.
I agree with that.
Cisco.
I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't give a fuck. If you give your kids, you give your kids that type of shit, bro, you do not deserve to have kids. 100%. I don't like it. That's fucked up, bro. You're literally changing this kid's life based off of words that they decide to. It's horrible, bro. I really look down upon it.
Bro, I don't know, because I don't want this whole thing to be in the depths of this thing, right? But
I mean, we're already fucking in the trenches, baby.
If your kid is coming up to
I'm getting canceled.
If your kid is coming up to you, right, and is I'm not myself, I'm not me. This isn't me.
At 6 years old, D, is what I'm saying, bro.
Well, I mean, I don't.
That's how they start these kids off as early as 5, bro. 4 and 5
That's
years old.
nuts, bro.
4
I
and 5 years
imagine,
old.
though, I
Look at my kid.
imagine,
You
like,
saw
as
my
a-
kid, right? Like you want me to
But-
start giving him hormone blockers?
But I imagine as I mean, maybe I'm giving too much credit. Maybe I am, but I imagine if I'm a dad, and this is
I
obviously
am.
okay. If you're right, you're not gonna take your kid's first word and just be like, "Oh shit, okay, let's like do that."
Mhm.
Absolutely
You're gonna
not.
take so much time, so much understanding, so
Mhm.
much patience and reassurance that this is the right move before you do anything. And I just feel like as much as maybe we agree or disagree, I think those parents hopefully felt like they did the best by their child by making that decision.
I
They
can
did it.
understand that. I can.
You know what
I
I
know where
mean?
you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. I get what you're saying 150 fucking percent, right? I cannot agree with what you're saying.
You can't agree with it. Yeah.
I can't,
That's
bro,
fine.
because think about it like this, right? How many times have like what did you say that you wanted to be when growing up?
And
And
actually,
how long did you say that you wanted to be an astronaut? How long? How
Years.
long? Years.
well, actually, probably like a year or two.
I'm just saying. Okay, so if like, what is the scope of how long a parent has to listen to their kids say this before they decide to make that decision? You said years of understanding. You said you wanted to be an astronaut for 2 fucking years, right?
Well, the thing
Do you
is,
still
like,
want to be an astronaut, or would it, would it
years-
kind of be cool to be an astronaut?
Mhm.
You
No,
know,
I realize I have a big fear of actually being an astronaut. That should be fucking scary. Holy shit.
My point exactly.
But I think understanding comes with the scope of like knowing why they exactly want to do something. If you can really see that, like, oh, you're just a kid, like, okay, we're not gonna fucking do this right now. You're just a kid, you're figuring shit out. That's fine. Do whatever you're gonna do. That's what like part of the understanding is, right? Understanding where you're coming from. Like if you were to tell me as a kid, why do you want to be an astronaut? Because I like a rocket. We're not going to train you to be an astronaut quite yet, okay? We're going to wait till you're probably a bit older. But if I was like, I don't know, there are probably certain things that I could have probably said that would make you be like, okay, maybe he's going to consider it later in the future, and we're going to keep an eye on it.
That's the other thing, right? Like, Peanut has liked sharks his whole life. His
Mhm.
whole life, since he was before he was 1 year old. He still likes sharks right now until he's 5. Hi, baby. He still likes sharks to this day, but he has other interests. Like sharks are, baby. Are sharks still your favorite? For the last 5 years, sharks has still been his favorite, right?
Oh, well, does he want to be like a? You don't know if he wants to be like a marine biologist or something.
He said he wants to be a shark feeder. Baby, what do you want to
Yeah.
do when you grow up? He wants to be a shark feeder. You think when he's
That's some scary shit. That's
you think when he's 18 he still wants to be a shark feeder? I highly doubt that.
Probably not, but
I highly doubt that. But hey, if like some parents, if he decided to wear a dress at 1 year old and still was wearing dresses at 5, they'd probably start putting him on hormone blockers. Is that like a fair assessment?
no, I don't think so. Because
But that's what that.
Oh, no,
but
no, no,
that's
but-
what
but
people are fucking doing, D. That's
No,
my
but-
point.
no. But the thing is wearing dresses and like, does that make sense? Like wearing dresses
Well, you can talk
and
about it. Okay.
liking something for a long time, like me being wanting to be an astronaut for so long, and like me cognitively deciding I want to wear a dress because it feels like I should be wearing it, and then also because I think throughout like our friends and everything, we get ridiculed for the things that we do that are not of the same. Like
Yeah.
everybody else is doing this one thing, I'm wearing a dress. I'm going to get fucking ridiculed for that. But if I keep doing it because I like the way I feel or whatever, one, that kid is very what is it called? Has a lot of confidence. And two, maybe that is just like what he likes. And maybe he's just a cross dresser. Maybe that's what he grows up to be or whatever. Maybe he doesn't even want to do whatever. But I don't know. There's a lot of things I guess you take into consideration. Right.
I think, yeah, I mean, yeah, to me, just wholeheartedly, I don't think that people should do, like, even like birth controls are weird for me. The fact that women do it is, I commend them, because they do it for a list of reasons, not just for birth, right? But even to tamper with the hormones and the way that their bodies move in that way to me is wild. I'm not a guy who really likes girls who wear a lot of makeup. You know what I mean? Because to fuck with the body is weird to me. You know, what I mean, tattoos is one thing. All my tattoos have certain meanings behind them, right? That's why I put these placards on me. It's my story. You know what I mean? And I wish more people would treat tattoos that way. But like, so to just for me to think like if I wouldn't tattoo my son right now, why would I do something to him which would literally alter his body? You know what I mean? In a very impactful way.
Mhm.
And in like I think still it's the people have the right to believe what they want to believe, right? They have that right. As an American, you have that right. But I don't think that people have the right to force me to agree with it, right? And on top of that, you know, for them signing off, I don't want to say they don't deserve their kids.
That was wild. That was
Bro,
but
I will stick by that. You can call me transphobic. You call me whatever the fuck you want to, but
I
I
don't
do
think
not
that's
give a
transphobic. That's just a wild.
Some
statement.
people will
but
call it transphobic.
I
Like,
do think that there needs to be some repercussion for parents if your kid at 17, 18, 30 years old, doesn't fucking matter, decides to have their
it's
shit
fucking
reversed.
that's child abuse, bro. Like
Mhm.
it is child abuse.
Mhm.
It
You
is
better
child
what-
hope your
oh,
kid
wait,
sees
wait.
it all the way through.
What are the parameters of it being child abuse?
What do you mean?
What are the box that you're putting this in that makes it child abuse? What are the qualifiers?
You are
that-
literally hurting the growth of your child, stunting their growth, stunting their bone density, stunting the way that their muscles are being built. You're literally, it's literally lethal, or what is it? It's literally castration, a form of castration. These fucking hormone blockers that they're giving these little boys. It's a
Bro,
form
but
of castration.
You could honestly say the same about fucking parents who sign up their kids for these high contact sports, bro, or physical combat sports. Like they're getting brain damage. Some of them are obtaining broken bones. Some of the kids are fucking ended up paralyzed because of the fucking shots that they're taking. And this is not only in Pop Warner football, but I'm talking about all the way to fucking like high school. Like I've known plenty of guys who never played football ever again because they tore a rotator cuff or they
That's
blew
a
out their
very
ACL.
interesting. That's a very interesting, like,
Yeah, that's a good point. I've
side by
never
side.
thought of that either.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that statement. Like signing up, you're saying you're right. What you just did right now was equivalent giving a child hormone blockers as child abuse to signing up your child for sports.
Some
contact
parents,
sports.
some parents would deem it so. Some parents would deem it so, especially when you're talking about like if you saw their practices, you know what I mean? Like if people saw, dude, parents were upset when they watched our dance practices. We stood in the fucking rain. We stood in the rain in 40-degree weather and danced. Like you get what I'm saying? These fucking coaches would throw shit at us. You get what I mean? Or we're doing push-ups with fucking icy hot rubbed on our fucking lower back so that when we sweat it drips down into our ass crack, bro. Like people would
What?
consider it child abuse. Like some people considered it fucking abuse. You give me, to me, I was with it. Like I didn't give a fuck. Like you give me.
That's
So-
interesting though, because what I can't do is argue this, because by virtue it is, I guess, I don't want to say similar, but the parameter of calling it abuse is there. I'm trying to think of how I can argue against that.
I
And
also wanted to push you a little bit more. I've never heard. Where did you hear that? Like, they're starting off these kids at like 5 years old.
bro, there are literally pediatric doctors whose main focus and like form of income is helping children transition. I'm gonna find a list of them and I'll send it to you.
Okay, yeah, because
I've watched interviews of them talking about this, bro. I've literally watched interviews of them talking about these fucking pediatric doctors that help children transition. It's fucking. It blows
'Cause
my
I-
mind, bro.
Okay. I
Okay,
know it's
so
still
let's
a
say
hot
this. Let's take a
contentious
situation like this,
topic.
right? So there's situations even where kids may have certain growths on their bodies, right? Or like maybe they're conjoined twins, right? And they want to be separated. And like, there's those extreme cases where they're conjoined and they're going to be separated and it could possibly kill them, right? But the parents are signing them up for it because this is what their children desire, right? So I don't
Yeah,
know.
but that's not that. No, that doesn't.
How
that
do
doesn't
we
work?
so
That
but
doesn't
how
work
do
though.
but how
It
do we
doesn't work.
differentiate? How do we differentiate?
I
Like,
don't
you know
think
what I
he's
mean?
trying to equivalate them
Because
or
no,
make them equal. I think he's just saying that like there are a variety of different ways that somebody
It's
can
the
look at it
choice.
as
What
be
I'm
abusive.
saying is what I'm looking at, I guess, in this situation isn't
that's an
what
anomaly. I feel like that's an anomaly.
but
Like so are trans
and
kids.
and honestly, kids, yeah, trans kids. But
No,
what's
because there's
wild,
more trans kids.
I will
No,
say
man.
this, and I don't know how this is going to be taken, but the South African like president or whatever spoke to the effect of
Well, hold on. The difference is that that type of surgery could cause death, where hormone blockers don't cause death.
could. I mean, we don't know. I mean, I don't know what all these case studies fucking look like. Like, imagine a kid who took her hormone blockers and then 10 years down the road said, I fucked my life up and decided to fucking kill themselves.
Well, yeah,
Did
that's
the
different.
hormone blocker cause that? Like, you get what I'm saying?
It most likely did.
Well,
Psychologically, because
I don't know
it
if we
does
could
change them
say
psychologically.
most likely.
I
Well, it
would
does damage them
attribute it.
psychologically.
I would
Absolutely.
definitely attribute it to that. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying like I'm not trying to equate the actions that are going down. What I'm trying to equate is the thought process of the parent, right? Like the parent. So it's like if a kid died during this procedure or ended up more fucked up because of this procedure
Oh my
versus
God.
this kid over here.
Putch. It's such a huge difference, though. If you have a conjoined twin as your child, and they said, "Mom, Dad, we really want to be separated and be our own people because that is normal, right? Like that is the normal thing. The combined twin is the conjoined twin is the anomaly.
Is
It's
an
abnormal, right?
Mhm,
And they want to be separated. That
mhm.
is completely different than a kid coming up to you and saying, "Mom and Dad, I want to change my sex." It's completely different.
I think the anomaly is still the same, and I think the
No,
choice.
it's flipped. It's flipped. I want to become the anomaly as opposed to I no longer want to be the
No,
anomaly.
the kid even wanting to do that
Is
is
an anomaly.
one in millions. In millions.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
And this is what I was going to say is like the problem that we're having these days, right? Especially with these type of conversations, is that the minority is screaming so loud. It is so loud that the majority is thinking that we are now the minority. We're
Mhm.
not. There is more people who think the ways that we're thinking, right? Like, hey, we probably shouldn't be doing this to kids. Like, you know what I mean? Not for on any religious standpoint, not on anything, just base
Just I'm like, bro,
thoughts.
it's kind of wild. Yeah, just kind of
kind
like
of
it's kind of crazy. Like, yeah, we can agree. Fucking hell.
And so the
But,
problem and
yeah.
the president of like South Africa was speaking to this effect was that Americans are more concerned with like health and social well-being concerns when it comes to these communities, which by right, like they deserve to live and be happy, right? But like the thought process of the parents, right? That's long story short, that's what I'm saying is they're trying to make sure that their kids are happy in any form and or fashion. Like, you get what I'm saying? Now, the anomaly of a child wanting to have a sex change at 7, 8 years old is more
we won't even say the full sex change. We'll just say to start.
is an anomaly. That is a fucking anomaly. Even the parent to consider the fucking idea is an anomaly. It's wild. It's one in millions. But they're screaming so loud that we are now starting to think that this is what society wants. And
Well,
it's not.
that's the issue, right? Like that's the even bigger issue is that because of all these, nobody wants to be phobic, right? Like nobody wants to be labeled any type of phobic.
Mm-hmm.
And like you just said, the pressure that the parents must feel to like press on with going through with that is probably pressed because of, like you just said, the minority is screaming so loud, and they don't want to be labeled as phobic.
No.
Like, they don't want to be labeled as this type of phobic. So hey, fuck it, let's go through with this shit. That again goes to show that it's a weak-minded fucking parent, and if they go through with it, they do not deserve to have their fucking kids. Like,
I don't
straight the fuck
know.
up, bro.
I don't
Straight the fuck up.
No,
Straight the fuck up.
I think though, but I think that's a completely made up situation. The parent feeling pressure would only come from internet sources. So the fact that the internet knows their business enough to have a say on whether or not they get their children hormonal,
That is
whatever.
That is so false.
How?
You're gonna tell me right now. You're gonna tell me right now that if I had this same conversation that we're having right now, and I said exactly what I just said, that parents should not have their kids, and I said it in front of, we'll say, 30 to 40 people that we work with, you don't think that I would be labeled as transphobic?
No, but the thing that I'm commenting on is that parent that you're talking to that you're basically saying is feeling the pressure from the internet to get their children.
I'm not saying from the internet. I'm just saying in general.
Why would they be in general?
Why not? This is where our society is this day.
But I'm saying their business wouldn't be out there unless they actively spoke about it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like
No, I think you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they're viewing in their mind, not by conversation with somebody else or anything. They're just based off of what they've seen in their communities and what's acceptable right now. That if they didn't go through with if they went through with it, then they would be the hero. If they didn't go through with it, they'd be labeled as phobic within their community. I'm not talking about on the internet. But I'm not saying that they're gonna be posting fucking selfies at the doctor's office on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like,
but I don't even think, like, if the parent that you're speaking of, right, is not the majority of people. It's the people who are in those communities already who do think that children should be able to have hormonal therapy like that at the drop of a hat, who are scared of being phobic everything. They're already in that niche. They're already over there. But the vast majority of us are like, bro, that's kind of wild. Like, chill.
So you're saying this niche group of people only exists on the internet?
No, they're super loud on the internet. That's why we always think,
yeah,
like, bro.
I think there's where they fucking live, dude. That's
radically, yes, but I think they're super loud everywhere. Like the protests like all these protests about this shit, that's not on the internet.
Yeah, but those
literally people, in the communities.
But that's still like the visual representation of the minority. You still have everybody else just walking by and being like,
and they're allies.
Chill.
That's the community and their allies.
But that's what it goes based off of, right? Is the alliedness, right? People posting stickers on their fucking cars, driving around.
But
that's
again,
your community.
They will.
That's what I mean by the community.
Dude, I can tell you, 90 out of 100 of them are only putting that shit up, bro, because they want to be on the right side of history.
That's the point I'm making. That is
they
the
wouldn't,
point that I'm making
make
right there.
Those decisions when it balls to the wall came to it. They wouldn't make those decisions.
Okay, I can see I can see why you're what I can see what you're saying, Cisco.
That's
but the thing is it doesn't cross my mind.
Community.
It doesn't but that doesn't cross my mind because I don't move that way. Right? I don't
we're different. I would say that we're different in that sense where we think logically.
Because I think of it like this. I think of it like this, dude. In my house.
Well, I want to hear what D was gonna say. Because he laughed at the point that I said we think logically.
I was gonna say, would you say? First of all, I was like, you can't just say that. But I was also saying,
I say whatever the fuck I want. This is our podcast. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I can tell people that if they give their kids hormonal therapy, they should fucking get rid. Like they shouldn't have their kids. CPS should come take them. I can say that. You know why? Because it's my fucking podcast with y'all.
But would you say that most people don't think like us? Like that?
Would I say that we're the minority that think like this? No, I think that we're the majority.
I think
people are just too pussy to say this shit.
We are the silent majority, my friend.
Silent majority.
We are the silent majority, my friend.
Because of the internet. Because
it's
funny that you brought the internet up though, because I wasn't touching on the internet at all.
Well, I'm like,
a lot of people do that.
I just don't think where else do you see that
in the community?
No. You
Why
don't see
not?
this. Where do you see that?
Absolutely, you do. How do you?
No,
That's what
I
I'm
don't-
saying.
I
I
don't.
don't understand how you don't like. Yeah, because you probably sit in your house all day. Like,
No, I
go
just
outside,
I
go
just
touch
went
some
out.
grass.
I went
There's
to
people
Liberty-
out there.
Bro, I went to Liberty Station today. Everybody was chill. Everybody was cool. I go to coffee
Where'd you go,
shops. I go
Slater's?
to Target. I didn't go to Slater's. I wanted to
Oh.
though. No, actually, no. I didn't want to. I went to a coffee shop right next to it. It was so fucking good.
You just went to a coffee shop at?
Went to a
Liberty
coffee
Station?
shop. We walked around. We chilled. Had a decent chicken sandwich. It was okay. Yeah, it was good.
Where'd you have the chicken sandwich from?
Fluster Cluck
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
is okay. Whatever.
Uh,
Dave's
no,
Hot Dog
I
there.
think. Oh my god, that place is
Stop
not
it, bro.
good at all.
Stop it.
That place
You have
is disgusting.
dog shit taste. Don't ever talk to me about it.
There's literally a Dave's Hot Chicken right here by my crib, and it's disgusting.
There's one here too in Oxnard. It's no good. It's no bueno.
I think that we are the majority. I just think that people, like you said, on the internet are louder, and that's the majority of where we spend our time. But I mean, it's the same thing as like the BLM movement, right? Like we see a lot of it in our community based off of.
Wait.
flag-
You didn't answer. Where do you see this? Where do you see this?
I literally was just saying, bro. Like you see
Wait, what was
flags.
the question
see-
in your chat?
Oh yeah, fuck. What was the question? It's your chat.
Oh shit! I think he left.
Dang.
We were talking about parent households,
Thank you guys for being here,
and
Ooh, that seems like an eon ago, dude.
dude.
he said that he didn't have his. He said he didn't have his father in his household. So he said, "How do I get masculine advice as an adult if I can't get it from my biological father?"
Wow.
You find a safe group of men. You find
I
a safe group of men that you respect and that you admire, and you seek advice from them. And sometimes that advice might be a little personal, but you got to be vulnerable enough to open up to these people. And that's why, again, I say find a safe group, a trustworthy group. That's why I'm a Mason. Find a safe group of men that I can talk to about my shit.
My fucking nostrils are off right now. Like, look at this one. Looks fucking weird.
Oh, that cocaine. Oh,
I
that
don't do that.
motherfucker.
Are you sick? Are you getting sick, or is it allergies?
My allergies, bro.
Yeah, I remember when I said it was allergies too.
If I did cocaine, bro, my fucking heart would explode. I'm just saying. I have a bad heart. Okay, well, because I know D has to go to sleep. So,
We'll finish it up.
all right.
We'll hit the 2 hours. It's like 9 minutes. So
Oh yeah, where do I see this in my community, bro? People hang flags. There's car fucking sticker. Trans life matters is like a thing. Like, I'm not saying that trans people don't matter, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't be trans. That is far from what I'm saying.
well, but I feel like you said like the protesters. That's like something I'd be like, okay, yeah. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like I don't see protesting very often. Like flags are like, yeah, cool. Like you just want to be like, I support whatever. That's fine. I think you can wave whatever flag you want. Stickers. I've never seen a sticker. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like maybe I just don't pay attention. I always look at people's back of the cars, but I just don't see these things very often. And when I do, I feel like I'm like, oh shit, look at that.
Yeah, pay attention more. And not like the little fucking Yoda thing where it says like Baby Yoda on board. Like, don't look for those stickers. Look for the other stickers.
I feel like
And I know where you live. Like, you live fairly close to where there's a lot of that community. So you pay attention.
I feel like even in I forget the name. It's a very progressive little spot though.
I mean, the problem with that, dude, and I've heard this argument before, and it did resonate with me, is that we've spent our whole life with subliminal and not so subliminal messaging when it comes to heterosexuality, right? And so
Wait, can you say that one more time?
So our whole life, right, we have been subject to subliminal and not so subliminal messages and images, right, of heterosexuality, right? And so for the gay community, right, and trans community, the more acceptance that we bring as people means that we're also going to get those same images as well, right? And that's a part of me that has to become more accepting, that I've had to work on it. You get me? And it's cool. And it's cool because before I was like, man, like why am I seeing all this? And it's because society is here in America, society is moving towards, more acceptance. Bro, we would see billboards all the time of fucking Victoria's Secret models. What is that messaging? What is that subliminal messaging? So we're just seeing the same thing, but with a different candlestick. So
Yeah, I'm confused though. Like, are you like nobody's saying anything about like not accepting trans people though?
but
That's far from what any of us are saying. I think,
but that also comes with the bumper stickers. That also comes with the flags.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm opposed to creating trans people prior to the age of 18. Is what the fuck I'm saying. Like, let's not build a factory of many trans people that are this fucking tall and not of age yet. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the fuck I'm saying.
But if you
want to be trans, by all means, go do whatever.
But even with the flags, people are already saying that they're programming. That's why I'm saying, like, we received programming of heterosexuality, bro, through all the Disney movies. It's Prince Charming and the fucking princess. Now, as you're becoming more accepting in your society, you're going to see man and man or woman and woman type of storylines. They did it with Superman already in comic books. And if this is what the argument's going to be over, bro, just don't put none of it in the fucking movies, period. You know what I mean? Or because to me, you got to go nowadays, you either got to go all the way or you don't go at all. You know what I mean? And so,
right?
And so to me, 18 years old and up, that's when we should, even if it's man and woman, that's when we should start making sexual decisions. I regret having sex at a young age. You know what I mean? I regret it. Really? I regret having sex at a young age. You know what I mean? And I made decisions based off of that weren't the best decisions because I was thinking with the little head and not the big head. So
you do that regardless, though. I think
I still do it at 30 years old. It's just a habit. That's just a habit that's been built over years of experience.
I think as men we do that anyways.
Real quick, I wanted to ask Putch a little bit because you had answered the question in the chat in the Saves chat about finding male role models.
Oh, you want to rail
some male role models?
Shows your dick.
Stop.
I haven't asked them. Show me your dick.
Male role models through with not having like your biological father around, and you said to find a group of men or men that you respect in your life to kind of guide you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like especially as a kid, that's so hard to figure out who the right people to trust are, because initially I feel like it's your friends, and your friends are fucking dog shit because they're just going through the same shit that you are.
Then who better to trust if they're going if they're going exactly through what you're going through?
So I feel like they're just as lost. They're just as trying to figure it all out as you.
Or maybe they're just playing it off like they are.
All those who wander aren't lost. And so maybe you can wander through this together. Because I mean, truly, when you're 8, 9, 10 years old, right? Who can fucking relate to you anyway?
I was
that's getting posted on Instagram.
I was gonna say, but all those who lead don't know the way.
That is true.
Yeah, but
right?
Okay, but hold on, because I actually just had a conversation about this the other day, and not all of those who lead are like choose to lead; they're chosen to lead.
Yeah, he does not choose. He does not choose the anointed. He anoints the chosen. You get what I'm saying? And to me, like those, even those who are leading, right? They may not know, but I'm trying to think of like a 10-year-old in their pals, right? But let me take
go 13 to 15.
Yeah, let's take a kid who's a little bit older, right? Like let's say 16, right? Like there has to start being an idea of what better is, right? Like, and there's going to be all the different societal pressures of what are we doing after high school, guys? Some of these guys are 16 getting their first fucking jobs. You know what I mean? And so who better to band with than the guys that you're banding with, right? Now, like as you get older, it's the dudes who you look up to and maybe in the workplace. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be so grand, like joining a fucking fraternity or joining a fucking males group like the Elk Lodge or some shit. You know what I mean? It's just dudes. Maybe your buddy's got a buddy who's, you know, uber successful doing some other shit. Just get his IG, man. Like tap in with him from time to time. Maybe not share the same level of like advice type of thing, like advice seeking from them, but it's like know what you can get from them in that relationship. It sounds really bad. That sounds like really narcissistic, but you kind of got to know who's your like we were talking about friendships, like what friends serve what purposes, like, you know what I mean?
I feel like, yeah, I guess that's just not the way I did it. I guess growing up, because I lived with my mom. We lived in New Mexico, and my dad was here. So I feel like I was in that position where I was trying to figure, and my mom did, you know, an amazing job. I have nothing but great things to say about it. But there was still an element of like, I need that male role model to show me how to be in the world. I don't think I like looked to my friends for any of that. So I was just
So
curious.
who did you look to? Because I'm not trying to say this in a fucking fucked up way at all. Like not at all. But it doesn't feel like you had a lot of like positive male role models in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't like you don't carry yourself in a way where it feels like you've had like a lot of masculinity in your life. Not saying that you're like a bitch or like feminine or anything like that. It doesn't like, because you question yourself a lot and overthink in the way like it doesn't feel like you're very solid in what you are trying to put out. And I feel like you need a little bit of that sometimes.
I think I'm very calculated. I try to be.
Absolutely. No, you are extremely calculated. It's not a bad like what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like I said,
I know. I'm just saying I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I don't think it is. I think that's the reason I like these so much. I think I would look to male role models in like movies and stuff. Not to be like this is who but to have
I be Thor.
I'm not gonna be that, but I'm like this is the spearhead of what men are, and that I could be, and that I should strive towards. That sense of like, even though I could fuck somebody over, there's always the right thing to do, or something like that, or there's always like the better I could be. And then that's what led me to like Jordan Peterson and stuff like that, and why I admire him for a lot of things.
Jordan Peterson is a great guy.
I will say this. So growing up, dude, my dad lived 3,000 miles away. And so real quick, once we got to North Carolina, like, you know what I mean? Like I met cousins who lived across the fucking field right here. And they kind of had a fucked up household, right? And the buddies who lived behind my house across the woods, they kind of had a fucked up household, and we all rode the same school bus. Like, you know what I mean? And we all hung out all the fucking time, and they were the people I could talk to about my shit. You know what I mean? And just because their parents sucked too, and my situation sucked and their situation sucked. So we would get into these little powwows of sharing our woes, and there was no guidance, right? I think that I ever really received from them, but I think it was the shared trauma and misery, right, that sought the company, and it felt nice. Like, you know what I mean? And before we knew it, there was some friendships that still last to this day, because we were there for each other. You know what I mean? And as I got older, I started getting like into powwows and shit, and that's where I think I found like my first role models, like guys I wanted to be like. Like watching them dance, bro, like watching them dance or hearing them sing. I'm like, damn, I want to be like them. Like, you know what I mean? Like I want to be like that. And they were older guys, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I think like anybody like 15, it's kind of hard to say like any like younger than that, but like 15 to like 20, like, dude, get involved with something, like be somewhere and just find somebody.
Something positive though. Something like not gangs.
Yeah. Bro, I mean, I started hanging out with the boys like from the neighborhoods at like 14, 15, because it was like, if I could
go ahead, sorry.
It's like, if I can just take this beating, Like, you know what I mean? If I could just take this beating, I got friends that will always be my friends.
I was
That's
right
what
there, too.
that's what I'm saying is like the advice that's what I was thinking of, the advice, like where you were saying that your friends were somebody that maybe you want to look up to or have that like male role model. I was like,
Mhm.
well, I feel like no, right? That's not
Why
that
not?
might not be the
My group of friends is the same group of friends I've had since high school, and we're all doing great.
well, you guys
I
yeah,
think
you
at
just
that
said that.
time, like hanging out with like the crews and shit, I think at that time it was a different need that I needed at that time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, that's where role models, like, you know, being from a crew and shit is not good. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
If you want brotherhood, go join a fucking basketball team. Like, you know what I mean? Or,
mhm.
you know, go powwow or go learn bachata. Like, you know, go do something in a group of people who are constructive. You know what I mean? And there's people that you can aspire to be like, you know, like how Cisco, we were talking about like balance and wanting to achieve. Like, put yourself in situations to where there's somewhere in something in your life that you want to be better at. Become obsessed with it. You know what I mean? And in that obsession, it'll lead you to other people who are obsessed with that same thing. And then you become obsessed together and those become your peers. You get what I mean? And that's the way I feel like people should really, for young men at least, go to the fucking gym,
Well,
go
then it's not.
surf.
It sounds like your advice is like, yeah, join something productive and something a building that you could build upon and be better at than your friend group. It doesn't because my like in my head, friend group is like a group of people that maybe like you went to school with or whatever, and that you kind of just like you guys fuck with each other really heavy and you guys love each other and like Cisco said, like you guys are all friends to this day and you're super successful. But did any of you guys like look at each other as for male role models?
Okay, so I'll say this because there's 6 of us, right? And we're all still friends. We all still
Mhm.
talk. I was just with one of them earlier. Um, and I think like you said earlier, like everybody is on their own wild path and kind of spazzed out, doesn't know which way to go. But I think if each person looks at each other for different things, like we have this one person in the group who's very good at this, and another person in the group that's very good at this, and
Mhm.
I'm good at this in the group, and so that you kind of push and pull off of each other. I feel like you can find role model. Each person can find a different role model in that group and base it based off that. As
But
long
Yeah,
as
based
each
off of
as long
is
as
differences.
that
each person is continue to try and get better
but is
at
that
whatever
your
they're doing.
experience? Is that what happened with you?
For me,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, like there's times where people in the group will like reach out to me and be like, "Holy shit, I never thought that I would be talking to you about this." But I
I feel
learned off of them, you know what I mean? I learned off of my experience with each one of them on how to do certain things and how to be stronger in this and how to be
yeah.
stronger in that.
I feel
Bro,
like
my
there's
buddy Chris, dude, my buddy Chris, man, like me, I used to get into it with him because he would ditch and like come to my fucking house, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And I didn't understand, but at the time, his fucking girlfriend was pregnant. Like, you know what I mean? Like, none of us knew. Dick is like 17 years old, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like 16, 17 years old. And like, I still remember getting that phone call. And bro, I didn't see him for a minute. Like, because he just started working. Like, he ex-Nate school. He said, I'm gonna start working. And at the time, I didn't see him as a role model. But and I love you, Chris. And years later, though, there was times when I would look to that. Like, bro, he would come off of work like at 8 p.m. and would be right there drinking, bro, like with his brothers and sisters, just drinking. And he'd start drinking with us, fucking with us until 2, 3 in the morning, and he'd go to work the next day. Like, and he
And
was
you got to
doing it.
disagree. You got to disagree with people, bro. Like in your group, you can't. Everybody can't be like minded. That's the worst
Mm-mm.
part of like that's it's just like because you can't be with a lot of yes men's like that are just
Mhm.
gonna agree with everything that you fucking say because then there's no like think about it right like friction causes like causes change and you need to continuously be changing at all times.
Mhm.
Can't just be standard. And I just want to get back to what I said earlier because I don't want to like I don't want you to think that I was calling you a bitch or anything. It just kind of went back to my original standpoint from being in a single
the
parent
original
household.
standpoint. If you think I'm a bitch,
No, no,
oh
no.
my god,
It was just it just went back to like what I was saying about the whole like nurture versus nature effect because you're a very nurturing person based off of how you were brought up. That was the point that I was trying to make. So
Mhm.
I don't think you're a bitch. I think you're
Thank you.
like, you're my friend, and I find like I have a lot of love for you, and I appreciate who you are as a person.
Thank you.
You just have a very nurturing aspect and like personality, and I know like I could tell that that's where that came from without even asking you about it. If that makes sense? Like, it's not a bad thing. You're a nurturing person. You care a lot about what people think, and you gotta put a little bass in your voice, you know.
Show me your dick.
Like say fuck you to people.
Hey,
Show
fuck
me
you,
your
dog.
dick.
Hey, thanks, dog.
Nah, I mean, I appreciate it. I know where you're coming from, and I think I need to work on certain aspects of me being a little bit more stern, for sure. But that comes with time, and I think like I've been thinking about this for a long time. I need to fucking do it. I've been thinking about starting like boxing or something, like getting into a combat sport that would give me a little bit of combat experience because I've never gotten into a fight.
Well, now that you're
wrestling.
not a child, you know, it wouldn't be considered abuse.
True.
Wrestling.
True.
Wrestling.
No, I think boxing is a good start though.
I would love to
Wrestling.
box. I know.
I think boxing is a
has
good
lot
start.
of-
It's very
wrestling is very like
discipline. I have a buddy who boxes, and he is a very in shape guy and very disciplined, and it has changed his life for the better. Like it has aligned so many different things for him as far as like how he does certain things now within his life, just based off of the discipline that he's learned from boxing. It's yeah.
I got a heavy bag down here at the gym at the apartment. So I've been fucking around, and my buddy, like, he brings his mitts. And like I'll fuck around with him. But I wrestled, bro. I wrestled for some years, and my only thing is with that, like, one is I just don't want to get punched in the face. But I need to spar. I need sparring. I have to have the live action practice of this movement that I'm learning. You get what I'm saying? And so to me, wrestling was always a lot more fun because, dude, I mean, you just go. You go until you don't go no more. You know what I mean? And to me, in a fight, I'm not going to sit here and exchange blows with you, bro. You right? Because if I can grab you, now I control where this is going. If I can grab you, now I can control if you go over here, if we go on the ground, or if you go over me. Like, now I have you. Like, between wrestling and jiu-jitsu, I've really wanted to learn jiu-jitsu, but wrestling, bro, I always recommend fucking wrestling.
Wait, D, did you say you've never gotten into a fight before?
Yeah.
You lied to me.
No, well, wait,
you
why?
fucking lied. Yeah, because remember that time you came up to me, you were like,
yes, I said, what would it take for you to fight me?
Bro, this motherfucker walked up to me at work and he was like, what would it take for you to fight me? And I said, D, I would never fight you.
I was like, never.
It would take a lot. It would take a lot. It would take a lot. But I said, I wouldn't fight you. And he said, why? Why would you not fight me? I said, because I'd probably beat the fuck out of you. There's a slim possibility that you could take me down, but I'd probably beat the fuck out of you. And then I was like, Damien, you've probably never been in a fight in your life. And you were like, yeah, I have.
You a damn lie.
Well, I think I was joking.
Oh, I didn't take it as a joke. I was like, oh, he's probably been in a fight or two.
No, I've never been in a fight.
Yeah, I've been in my fair share.
I've almost been in
a
fights.
crazy nose.
I showed up and the dude didn't. I was kind of like, bro, you like had this whole thing.
You're a bitch. Whoever you are, all these years later, you're a bitch. You're a straight hoe.
Well, everybody was like, bro, he wants to fight. And I pulled up and I was like, all right. I mean, I guess we're fighting.
I guess I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here.
Let's run it, I guess. And he never showed. So,
bro, like,
sad, you know?
There was a fight that went down, and bro, they were calling me a cack-out because this dude, I guess, wanted to fight me, and I didn't know this shit was like, I didn't know he had problems with me. But there was like this big fight happening after school, and I was like, I'm gonna go home. So I guess there at that fight, me and him were supposed to fight. And I remember like getting to school on Monday. I was like, damn, bro, everybody knew about this fight but me. Like, what the fuck, homie? We can run this shit. Like, I ain't even
that was like one time my brother, when we were in that same high school, they were like, it was after school, and you know how after school everybody would like walk to the park or walk wherever the fucking fight was gonna be.
Mhm.
And there, like, some people came and found me, and they were like, "Yo, your brother's about to fight," and I was like, "What the fuck?" Oh, bro, that was a bad one. Because I remember being my brother was whooping this dude's ass, and my brother is like, if you ever seen pictures of my brother, he's like, he's chunky, like he's got big ass shoulders, yeah, he got big biceps. He was fucking this dude up. And I remember I got there and I was in the circle and I saw this other dude about to jump in, and I was like, "Yo, if you jump in, I'm whooping your ass. Like, don't do that." But yeah, my brother, I've watched my brother fight a couple times. He's a good fighter. He doesn't like to fight. I don't like to fight people either. I don't like to hit people in the face. I feel really bad when I hit people in the face.
Yeah.
But if you hit me in the face, don't do that. It's a dumb deal.
Bro, my freshman year, like, and this same dude, the dude I was telling you guys about before, like, I feel like he only wanted to fight me because my freshman year, I beat the fuck out of this dude, bro. It was so bad. Like, it was like, and after that, I didn't really like fighting because I just lit him up. Like, he swung on me, he missed, and I just like he was like full exposed, bro, and I just lit him up. And my sister, bro, I was a freshman, my sister was a senior, and I remember, bro, like, homie did clip me. He clipped me one time, and then, like, he kind of rang my shit a little bit, like, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, like, this is cool. But by this time, the fucking security guard had me. Dude, and my sister runs up and starts like fucking hitting me, bro. She's like fucking like hitting me, bro, because like I'm getting suspended from school and all this shit. And bro, it was so bad. Like, I remember we were in the office with a security officer, and she runs in there and was like telling old boy, like, "That's right, bitch, my brother fucked you up," like all this shit, dude. It was no bueno. Like, after that, I just did not like fighting. I was like, dude, I don't wanna.
See,
like,
this is why you should box, D. So you get your first experience of what it is to like take a punch to the face, but with headgear on and gloves.
No, I know. Like, I want it to be controlled because I don't want some motherfucker to be like, bitch.
And I think honestly, I think every solid man ever in this universe has to have their ass beat at least once.
Oh yeah, if not multiple times.
So they can know at least one time. Mm-hmm. So they can know, like, okay, this is what it's like to get my ass beat, and I never want to get my ass beat ever again. And that you could use that metaphorically too, like ever in anything. I never want to lose in anything. I think you need to go and get your ass beat by somebody.
There's a dude. He
do it in a controlled.
There's a dude who will remain unnamed, but he's whooped my ass like, I'd have to say at least 3 times, bro. I just haven't been able to get him, dude. And this rivalry, this shit was from like middle school, bro, like 6th grade all the way into high school. It was like, dude, I'm gonna get you, bro. Like, I'm gonna come back. Don't you worry about it. Like, don't you even fucking worry about it. But I haven't seen him since the last time we fought.
All right, boys. I gotta hop off. I gotta put the little one to bed. He's got school in the morning.
All right, boys. Love y'all, man.
My bad. I know. D has to work in the morning too.
Yeah,
but I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for allowing me to go on this crazy tangent. I see some crazy shit in New York, bro, and I just was like, I'm ready to get canceled. I almost bought a MAGA hat and everything.
No,
I'm just playing. I saw one at the gift store, and I was like, maybe I should get this for the stream and just put it.
Slowly, just
imagine if I would have had a fucking MAGA hat on the whole podcast. That would be
that'd have been nuts.
Yeah. I would never. But I appreciate you guys, man. So let's close it out. I'll go first. Thank you guys. The usual Tuesday on Wednesday edition. We will be back on Tuesday though, right?
Yes.
Everybody square for Tuesday. I'm square for Tuesday. So I appreciate everybody listening, all the communities, my community, Zero's community, Corpse's community. From my side, I appreciate you guys as always. Stay healthy, stay happy. I love you. Keep smiling. And I'll pass it on to Zero.
Ditto. Just kidding. No, thank you everybody for showing up. You know, I think we got off on a fucking crazy tangent, but I appreciate everybody watching, being here for as long as you were, for a second, a minute, or the whole time. yeah, thank you for supporting. Support these two in my community. You know what I mean? And thank you for the people who are in their community to see me. 0% on YouTube. That's it.
Join
Be
the
safe.
Discord.
Be safe. Join the Discord.
Train. Love you guys, man. Tonight was fun. I love you guys. Yeah, community, follow, like, subscribe, all that on all these platforms. We're all over the place. Usual Tuesday on Big Corpse. Yeah. Have a good day, week, month of your life. All that until Tuesday. Love you guys.
Peace. Love y'all.
Peace out, guys.